And the Atlantic Trojans senior night here tonight. Villa Downs will be here tonight. Cody Weaver, and looking forward to some great wrestling here. We're going to have our Elvis Haas State Farm Insurance pregame with Coach Duff here just a little bit, and then we'll break away back to programming and bring you on the radio the Atlantic Glenwood, Atlantic Clarinda matches. But we'll have all three live streamed here on WesternIowaToday.com. So looking forward to this one. Some key matches coming up here tonight.
Yeah, you look at the lineups. I talked to Colby and Sorensen there, the Clarinda coach, and they're going to wrestle about 8, so they're going to have 6 open. So that'll be tough, to compete with Glenwood and Atlantic. And Atlantic and Glenwood both seem to have full rosters. And you look at some of the ranked kids. Mason Kohler at 215 for Clarinda is rated 1. Sorensen at 285 is rated number 1, and in their 285-pounder for Glenwood, I believe, is rated, 3rd or 4th. So that's probably going to be the key matchup for the ranked wrestlers. But it's going to take the whole team, obviously, to win that duel. So we'll see how everybody competes. And I know that kind of a homecoming, I guess, it's been a couple years, for Tucker Weber coming back. He's the coach of Glenwood, but, kind of worked under Coach Duff. And then you have Colby Sorensen, who wrestled for Coach Duff. And so it's kind of a Sorensen reunion.
And Tucker and Colby are brother-in-laws.
Yes, yeah.
So, and we just got to talk to Mrs. Sorensen here a little bit. Great wrestling fan over the many, many years. And as you mentioned, Colby wrestled for Coach Duff. So, yeah, it's kind of a homecoming here tonight, but that's how wrestling is. It's one big family throughout the state of Iowa, and even beyond that, Cody. You know all about that.
Either way, they're going to be bragging rights, I'm sure, at the house or when they get together as friends or family. So.
Not to mention Al Sorensen, of course, assists with the Atlantic Wrestling program as well. A broadcast brought to you by Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll. First Whitney Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. First Whitney Bank. Body Basic, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics. And the Seed Pros, so buy your sign to maximize yields. From the word go, your Pioneer Pros, John Becker, Mark Vintiger, Gary Dinkla, and Nick Knudsen. Also, 2nd Street Auto, your transmission pros and Cass Health. The Neighbors Caring for Neighbors, and Outfitters Plus Outlet Store, your home for personalized sports apparel in Atlantic. And the Super Bowl. Hey, grab the gang and head to the Super Bowl for Glow Bowling every Friday and a Saturday night. Hey, Switta, they are safe, they're reliable. Switta, for all your transportation needs. Stein Seed. Stein has yield. Contact Darren Petty, your local Stein representative. Also brought to you by Hy-Vee, Bakery, Deli, Grocery, Meat Department, and Pharmacy. Always there for you, your Atlantic Hy-Vee. Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned full-line CarQuest retail store in Atlantic. And Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, a hometown bank for hometown people. They are a member of FDIC. Greg Young Automotive Group in Atlantic also brings you our sports. They go the extra mile for you. And Olson's BP. Great food, Godfather's Pizza, and quality BP fuel to keep you going company. Olson's BP in Atlantic. And also brought to you by Oak Point Wealth Management. Great to have Aaron Friend aboard. Oak Point Wealth Management, located inside Schneider and Associates in Atlantic. Our live video stream is powered by Nishnanet. We thank Scott Bennett for that. And our coaches show is brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. We'll be back to hear comments from Atlantic head coach Tim Duff right after this.
State Farm is there.
Show. We're joined by Atlantic head wrestling coach Tim Duff. Glenwood, Clarinda wrestling first, and Atlantic will wrestle Glenwood and Clarinda here in the final 2 duels of the night. And, Coach, thanks for taking the time with us here. Let's talk about this competition coming up. You got this tonight, and then the John Jay, so a big ending to the week here. But first at hand here is the duel here, the triangular with Glenwood and Clarinda. Kind of break this one down for us.
Hey, Tom, first thanks to you and Cody for doing the duel tonight, streaming it, and the radio coverage, but really appreciate that. And, it's going to be a busy 3 days for us when you go, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, tonight, senior night for us. So we get to recognize 3 seniors tonight. Cameron McDermott, a senior that's probably been one of those kids pretty unsung. He's a kid that's been in our program for 4 years, worked hard, shown a lot of improvement, just been kind of some of those spots where he hasn't had a chance to be the guy on varsity, but, he does a great job for us. And really takes control of, the young kids when they go to those junior varsity meets. Cameron understands. He's been in the program. He knows, what the kids are supposed to be doing. So he really helps, on those JV meets. So we really appreciate everything Cameron's given to the program. Aiden Smith, a senior that's, earned his 4th letter this year, 3-time state qualifier, 3-time state place winner. He's done it all in wrestling. A state runner-up, and has a goal this year to try to get back and see if he can get on the top podium, and has wrestled well all season, been a great leader for us. And Evan Sorensen, real similar to Aiden, getting his, going for his 3rd letter this year, and a couple times state qualifier, and really pushing to get on. Has fell just short of getting on the podium the past couple seasons. So, a chance to celebrate those 3 seniors wrestlers, and then we have Mabry Ohm. She's one of our senior managers, and she does a great job, and a girl that's always there, always helpful, always bring a smile and great attitude. So we're real happy that she's been a part of our program, and then we have a senior cheerleader, Gabby Peterson. She's been cheering the last 3 years, and one of those girls that got, as a coach, you get pretty used to those girls on the side of the mat, and so we're thankful for all our cheerleaders. But those 5 seniors tonight, we'll celebrate them, and obviously there's some wrestling. Everybody else is going to wrestle too. Clarinda, Glenwood, there go first. Villa Dance will be in tonight for a dance program. So a lot of stuff going on. Should be a fun night. I think, when you look at Clarinda, their lineup, Coach Colby Sorensen, Colby wrestled here for Atlantic, and one of our former wrestlers, and it's fun to see him out there cutting his teeth and working in the coaching and teaching profession. Was always a great young man, and always did the right things. And I can count on one hand the number of kids that were 4-time Ironman for us. So Colby was a kid that didn't miss a practice in 4 years of high school wrestling. So that just kind of shows his commitment, his dedication, and his hard work, and all those things that are going to pay off for him as he continues to work in teaching and coaching. And I know right now they're still working on getting some more numbers into their wrestling program, but Coach Sorensen's doing a great job. They've got a couple really good upper weights. When you look at their upper weights, they're real solid. I think you got to start with Nally at 215. He's been wrestling 215 in heavyweight. A kid that kind of down at 215. It looks like is probably where he's going to go for the postseason, but he's a solid wrestler. You look at Polsley at 175, another kid that super aggressive. He's one of those kids that really comes out, gets after you hard. Especially that first flurry. He's a kid that he won't back down from anybody, and he's always impressive. Just his aggressive style, and then they've got some kids, in their lineup. Some names, Whip. That's if you followed Clarinda wrestling, he'll be their 100 and I think 113 or 120 tonight. Hash. Be wrestling 120. A kid that's continues to improve. I think there's a couple hashes in their lineup. So those are names in Clarinda, and so we know they're probably have about 10 or 12 kids on their varsity lineup tonight. So it should be great chance for us to see their kids. And Clarinda's in our district, so these matches are, even more important because those are, they'll be used to kind of determine seeds at the district wrestling tournament. And then looking at Glenwood, likewise, in our district, they actually host our district wrestling tournaments down at Glenwood, and Coach Weber's doing a great job down there, similar to Clarinda in that, they've got some really good upper weights. You look at Kohler at 215 and Boothie at 285. Those are, two of their kids that have wrestled a lot, real tough, kids that are pushing to get on the podium. And then they've got Fobble kid. Last year he was kind of out of their lineup, hurt. He's back. He's been looking solid. They have a Lundvall in at 175 that will get after it. A real competitive kid. Alst at 190. Really, really strong kid. Physically looks the part. He's one of those kids that he's all a 190, and he's really a strong kid. And down in their lighter weights, Black at 113, a state qualifier last year. He and Harris had a good match early in the season, so we know he's going to be tough. The Erickson kid at 150, I think, is improving. Williamson at 165, another sophomore that we saw last year, and he keeps getting better. So I think that that duel is going to be a good duel, chance to see where we are, and like I said, a chance to individually know. Kind of where you're at going into districts. These matches will be, important as far as, seeding at that district tournament.
It's interesting, Coach, when you talk about Colby Sorensen, who you coached as a high schooler, and I think probably did some coaching under you, and then Tucker Weber, head coach for Glenwood, similar assistant coach under you. That's got to be kind of cool for you to be coaching against the guys that you kind of tutored along here, huh?
Oh, it's I just as I'm old, but no, it's fun to see those guys. Both great coaches doing a great job, and it's fun to see them out there, making a name for themselves and building their programs and putting their stamp on, both traditionally strong wrestling schools. You look at Clarinda, you look at Glenwood, those are two powerhouse wrestling schools from Southwest Iowa, and you look, at the history of wrestling down, in Southwest Iowa and the state of Iowa. So it's fun to see those guys out there getting it done and working, and we know that it's going to be competitive. We know their kids are they're going to be ready to fight and scrap, and they're not going to back down. So that's that's when it's fun to be their coach, and it's fun to be a spectator when you get kids that are out there getting after it and not taking the back seat to their opponent and just wrestling, competing to the best of their ability and leaving it on the mat.
Very good. And by the way, Tucker Weber and Colby Sorensen, they have some family ties. Colby is a brother-in-law's here with in that match as well. Coach, always appreciate your time, and really look forward to seeing the Trojans out on the mat again here this evening. And you'll wrestle Clarinda Glenwood first, and then Atlantic Glenwood second, I take it, followed by Atlantic Clarinda. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's order night, and like I said, we're excited for a good night of wrestling night. And like I said, tomorrow follow it up.
Yeah.
Head to John Harris for a couple-day tournament. So getting on the mats here and hopefully seeing our kids compete at a high level.
Very good. Coach, thanks. Best of luck. We'll talk to you afterwards. That is our Coaches Show, brought to you by State Farm Elvis Hess, your good neighbor. And we'll be back with more wrestling and the start of this one right here on 95.7 FM and our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com. It's powered by Nishnanet.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
First Windy Bank is the longest-standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been in
Atlantic and Clarinda. We're going to have our Glenwood-Clarinda match on our live video stream, westernouttoday.com. We're going to break away on the radio, and we'll be back at about 6:10, 6:15 in that time frame to bring you the Atlantic matches with Glenwood and Clarinda here at 95.7 FM. So until then, if you want to watch, you just go to our live video stream, westernouttoday.com, KS957 on YouTube and TV as well. We'll be back on the radio in about 50 minutes here on 95.7 FM.
First Windy Bank is the longest-standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Windy Bank, the only bank you'll ever...
132 will be Carter Hadley of Atlantic, Jackson Ingram of Clarinda, and Mark Reed of Glenwood. 138 right now, it's listed as Aiden Smith of Atlantic, Alex Keeler, Clarinda, and Connor Ware of Glenwood. 144, Calvin Hayes of Atlantic, sophomore. Emma Comer of Clarinda and Owen Purvill of Glenwood. 150, Jaden Harder for Atlantic, open for Clarinda, and Jason Erickson of Glenwood. 157, Draven Smith of Atlantic, sophomore. Barrett Hagee, sophomore, Clarinda, and Reese Faubel of Glenwood. 165, Roland Hinman of Atlantic, open Clarinda, Trey Williamson of Glenwood. 175, Callan Cleaver, Atlantic, Dominic Polsey of Clarinda, and Niall Lundville of Glenwood. 190, Donovan Hedrickton Jr. for Atlantic. It would be Griffin Phillips of Clarinda and Jacob Ost of Glenwood. 215, Traven Thomas, freshman for Atlantic. It would be Mason Nowley of Clarinda and Mason Kohler of Glenwood. 285, Evan Sorensen of Atlantic. Clarinda is open, and Drake Buthy of Glenwood. Talk about those upper weights a little bit. Mason Kohler comes in as the #1 ranked wrestler in 2A at 215 pounds. At 285, Evan Sorensen comes in as your #1 ranked wrestler, and Drake Buthy of Glenwood is ranked there 3 or 4. So those matchups will be some of the key ones that we looked at. And, Coach Duff talked about Brody Black and Colin Harris earlier. We're going to go to the national anthem. We'll stay right here.
And welcome back to Atlantic. Tom Robbins with Cody Weaver. Glenwood and Clarinda will match up first, as Cody gave you those lineups here tonight. And, of course, Atlantic and Glenwood second, followed by Atlantic and Clarinda in the nightcap here. Looking forward to this. And, Cody, we did mention that Clarinda does have some open weights, about 4 of them, coming in this first matchup tonight against Glenwood head coach Tucker Weber from Clear Lake, Iowa. I remember back in the day when Atlantic wrestled the state duels in Cedar Rapids. Tucker Weber was wrestling for his dad in Clear Lake. And by the way, Clear Lake did get us in that one up there in Cedar Rapids. That's been years and years ago.
He had a very successful career. I believe he wrestled maybe with Joe, Colon, that went on and wrestled in college and even at the Olympics. So we'll, again, we're going to start out here with Clarinda and Glenwood, and it looks like Clarinda's going to have about 8 weight classes, so they'll end up with about 6 of them. That there's going to be forfeits, so we're going to start at 157 pounds here. Tom talked earlier about the night. I guess it's senior night. I think there's 3 senior wrestlers and maybe a senior manager, and then as well as Villa Dance will be in-house, so they'll perform kind of in between the duels. I assume one of them, and then the senior night will be the other one. So
getting lined up here for 157. Then we'll go to 165, 175, 190, 215, 285, and back to the flyweights at 106, 113, 120, 126, 32, 38, 44-50 is how we're going to go here with Glenwood and Clarinda, Cody.
Yep, Barrett Hagley of Clarinda, and it's going to be Reese Faubel of Glenwood here at 157 pounds. The wrestlers are checked in here, and officials coming out, giving the towel boy some instructions on how hard to hit him and how to count down. And it's Jim Walter from Preston, correct?
The Hawkeye 10 Conference Wrestling historian is here tonight. John always has a lot of great stuff. He's put together quite a book, too. If you ever get a chance to take a look at that, get a hold of John, and he's got a lot of good stuff in that one.
And, you know, John, every time we see him, he's like, hey, do you guys have any funny stories about Coach Duff? And he asks the kids, and nobody wants to say anything about Coach Duff.
No.
You don't want to be on his bad side, especially if you're still in high school.
Nice crowd gathered here, Cody, as well, up top here in the balcony and down below. Villa Dance will be entertaining all of us here between matches, and it's senior night for Atlantic as well. They'll honor Evan Sorensen, Aiden Smith, and Cameron McDermott will be honored tonight, as well as Gabby Moore, who was the manager, or cheerleader, Gabby Porter, I should say. Aubrey. Here's a takedown right away,
right
Cody.
away. Faubel with a nice double on the side there. Goes ahead and releases Hagley back up to his feet. Snap down there, kind of shucks down, circles around behind for takedown 2. Goes right into a cradle, cross-face cradle. Gets hip to hip here. Now switches back to a deep waist there on the right-hand side, chops forward and comes out front, peels that arm out, trying to get maybe an arm bar or chicken wing. Hagley kind of bellied out there, trying to peel his hand free. And Faubel's going to go ahead and release him back up to his feet here. So already a 6-2 match here early in this, or halfway through this first period. Faubel there in on another double, goes opposite direction, keeps the leg, goes to a power half, kind of looks over at coach, and it was the wrong coach. Colby Sorensen saying, hey, let him go.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right away goes to kind of a snowplow there, rolls Hagley over, puts him on his back, and wins this by fall. 54 seconds left here in that first period at 157 pounds. So
fall and 106 for Reese Faubel, the Glenwood Rams, and so Glenwood takes a 6-0 lead here early on at 157 pounds, and now we move up to 165.
Yeah, 165. It looks like Trey Williamson of Glenwood will get the forefoot there, and we're going to jump up to 175 pounds. And for Clarinda, they have Dominic Polsey listed, and it'll be Niall Lundville is listed for Glenwood. We'll see who they actually send out here. And Niall Lundville, a kid whose dad wrestled about the same time as Coach Duff, and a really good wrestler for Glenwood back in the day. And Niall's got a sister that wrestles and a little brother that wrestles. So. And it is Dominic Polsey, and he will be taking on Niall Lundville. So Polsey of Clarinda and Lundville of Glenwood. John Walter getting some instructions there for the track wrestling guru. Aiden Smith's little sister, and those girls that do that stuff, there's a lot of pressure on them if things don't go right. And so we're started here at 175 pounds.
Glenwood leading 12-0. Reese Faubel had a fall in 106 over Barrett Hagee of Clarinda. That gave the Rams a 6-0 lead. Then Trey Williams drew the forfeit of 165 for Glenwood, up 12-0 now. And as Cody mentioned, Niall Lundville of Glenwood will match up against Dominic Polsey of the Clarinda Cardinals. Polsey's got some height advantage here, Cody, when you look at both these guys. A little more length there,
yeah,
too.
and he's got age on him, too. I believe, you know, Niall's maybe a sophomore, and Polsey's a senior, and Polsey's right away goes kind of underhook here and some separation, and Lundville now with he's doing a good job on defensively. right on the edge of the mat, and Pulsey's trying to muscle him here. Kind of goes cattle throw here, steps over across the legs, and Lundvall doing all he can do to stay off of his back, and did a great job there. Pulsey, unfortunately, is able to grab that chicken wing right away. Now opposite wrist, rolls Lundvall back over on his back for a different pinning combination. So he takes an early 3-0 lead, and you can see that Lundvall does a good job hooking Pulsey's leg and kind of uses that leverage. Pulsey separates now, rolls Lundvall back over on his back, and has it tight. And there's a 1:09 here for Niall Lundvall of Glenwood to fight. Long time. Pulsey settles in, kind of goes chest on chest, tries to elevate the head. Lundvall turns in towards him, and Pulsey's able to tighten that up to win that by falling exactly a minute in that first period.
So Pulsey with the pin, and now it's a 12-6 Glenwood lead as the Cardinals slice it in half here with that pin by Pulsey in 60 seconds. And we go to 190 pounds.
Yeah, and I think if you look at track, they listed that last match at 190, so we'll see what if they can do 2 matches here at 190 pounds. So
let's see if we can get that. And
it'll be Phillips of Clarinda taking on Ost of Glenwood.
Griffin Phillips and Jacob Ost out of the mat right now. You bet. (12-6), so Rams with a lead. Reese Faubel had a fall in 1 minute and 6 seconds over Barrett Hagee, and that gave the Rams a 6-0 lead. Trait Williams at 165, won by 4'4" Glenwood to make it 12-0. And then Pulsey from Clarinda got that fall in a minute. 12-6, here we go.
Yeah, it tightens the duel back up to 12-6. Collar tie by Phillips there. Both wrestlers kind of working on inside tie here, and you see Ost of Glenwood kind of pushing in here now. He's got a collar tie, snaps down on Phillips there. Phillips down on his knees, Ost still up on his feet, right on the edge of the mat there. They're going to stop it and put him back towards the center of the mat here to restart here. 30 seconds into this first period. Collar tie by Phillips there. Working on opposite wrist control. Now we go collar tie here by Ost of Glenwood. Underhook right hand side of Phillips. Both wrestlers so far pretty equal on their feet. No real deep shots or singles or doubles or anything like that. There's kind of almost like a high crotch shot there by Ost of Glenwood. Switches to an underhook there, and Phillips does a good job circling the opposite direction there and breaking that underhook. Now underhook on the right-hand side of Phillips by Oust. He tries to elevate that, snaps down, able to circle around behind that same side. Right away goes for a tilt, ties up the arm, steps over on the right-hand side. Going to get a near fall here. Oust switches to a half.
Oh, there it is, Cody.
Phillips over and gets the fall on Phillips right there.
Yeah, 1 minute 40, 1 minute 39 second pin for Phillips. With the pin for Glenwood. And now it's an 18-6 lead for the Rams. Minute 39. So we've had a fall, 4 foot of fall, and now another pin here early on. Things going pretty quickly here.
And this will be probably Mason Nally of Clarinda and Mason Kohler of Glenwood.
Boy, what a career Kohler's had. We did see him get runner-up in the Roland Dyer tournament to a very good wrestler out of Nebraska. But, Kohler's just been fantastic for Glenwood at 215. And every time I see that guy, he just gets a little bit more physical looking as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's, his main sport is wrestling or football or for sure what it is, but even as a freshman, he
was amazing.
Went up to state and competed really well. Collar tie by both wrestlers, kind of maybe like a fireman's attempt there by Kohler. Front headlock now by Kohler in on an outside single, goes opposite direction, and Nally did a good job, and Kohler right away switches to a kind of a fireman's gets a takedown there, keeps the leg. He's going to try to work towards the head and put him on his back. No back points awarded, but Kohler just taking his time, keeps that arm, is going to circle towards the head here, try to expose the back. Now he switches to just a half, powers hip pressure in there, now settles back chest on chest, has the back exposed of Clarinda here. Nally really fighting that off, and Kohler really continues to settle in, takes the arm, exposes the shoulder, brings that arm forward to expose that opposite shoulder there, and gets the fall.
A quick fall at that in 56 seconds. So Mason Nally losing to Mason Kohler by a fall in quick work of 56 seconds here. And we go to 285 pounds here, Cody.
At 285, 106 and 113. It looks like we're going to have forfeit where Glenwood will end those by forfeit. Drake Buthy here at 285 receives a bye at 106 pounds. It looks like Clarinda has to show first. Nobody shows, and Glenwood will send out their 106 pounder here, and
so 30-6, Glenwood with the big lead here early, and the open weights never always a problem here. And as you mentioned, Clarinda with 4 of those. So Drake Buthy with the forfeit win. And now we go to 106, Cody Weaver. And
yeah, that 106, they call it a double forfeit, and then they show Brody Black at 113. Double forfeit there at 106, so no points awarded. 113, it's Brody Black winning by forfeit, so we're going to go up to 120 pounds here. Both wrestlers at the table here checking in. And for 120 pounds, it looks like Camden Whip of Clarinda, freshman, going to take on Christian Lopez of Glenwood.
So double to forfeit at 13, forfeit at 6. Won by the Rams. It's now 36-6 in favor of Glenwood, and 120 pounds here.
Yeah, at 120 it is. They're still getting the wrestlers checked in here.
So Brody Black at 113 with the forfeit win there.
It is Hayden Hash and Christian Lopez. So Hash listed at 26, must be down at 20. And Hash right away goes bear hug here, and he's going to try to throw Lopez to his back here. He kind of settles in, tries to suck it up and trip. Now he goes overhead, tries to snap down, and a really nice switch off double there by Lopez.
Next on the junior varsity match, it'll be 126 miles between Glenwood and your home team.
And Hash of Clarinda is wanting to go upper body here. A lot of kind of freestyle stuff here, and there's a little bit of separation. They come back to the center. Hash trying to, work some of that muscle and some of the leverage. He goes underhook here now, and it's a really nice switch off to a double there by Lopez of Glenwood, and goes into a half here on Hash. Tries to roll Hash over, is going to get back exposure here. Hash gets back to his belly, but Lopez goes opposite side half here. Tries to keep his feet in bounds here to maintain control. Some points, 2 near fall awarded, so it'll be 5-0 right now as we come back to center. 39 seconds to go. Lopez of Glenwood with that advantage.
36-6 is the team score. Glenwood dominating here early on. We start at 57 and we're at 120 right now.
Going to be a caution on Lopez of Glenwood with a little bit early start here. So he's going to separate here a little bit. Hash will get set again, and Lopez will cover that left-hand side. Lopez, really a long, lanky kid for 120 pounds, kind of reaches over the top here, tries to tie the arm up, has the ankle, goes forward for a stack, and he's got Hash on his back here. Both arms tied up. and gets the fall here. 16 and a half seconds to go here in that first period. So
Fall at 144. And the Rams go up 42-6 as Lopez gets the pin for Glenwood in a minute 44. And we move up to 126 pounds, just scooting right along here. And looks like let's get this set up at 26 for the Glenwood Rams. It's still waiting for that unless you got it.
Hayden Hash was listed at 26,
but
so
they
he
moved
must have
him
went
down,
to 20. And I'm assuming this will be whip. They're going to forfeit at 26 to Glenwood. That'll be Ben Christensen of Glenwood winning at 126 pounds by forfeit. At 132 pounds, looks like there's going to be a match. So Glenwood had to show first. They sent their kid out here at 132 pounds, and Clarinda came over to check in.
So Mark Reed will be wrestling for Glenwood, and we're waiting for the Clarinda wrestler to come out here, and so it's going to be, Mark Reed of Glenwood will be the Rams representation here, 48-6. Favor of the Glenwood Rams. Here we go.
It'll be Keeler for Clarinda, Alex Keeler.
Now, 132 pounds, it's Mark Reed of Glenwood facing off against Alex Keeler, Clarinda.
Both kind of working on inside tie here. Keeler's got a double underhook. Switches on the left-hand side there, and now both wrestlers kind of separate. And Keeler with a outside single shot attempt there. Looks like he's going to work on an elbow pass. He's got the right hand. Some separation. Tie back up. Basically just collar tie by both these wrestlers. You do see a little bit of level change there by Reed of Glenwood. There you go. There's a single outside single shot there by Reed. Goes opposite direction, dumps him on his hip, works his way up, and gets a three-point takedown here. Just under a minute to go here in this first period. Right away works on inside both wrists, almost
you got penalty. Didn't he get the double half going in there?
Yeah, he had a full Nelson.
Full Nelson, there we go.
Yeah, it's.
I like the double half.
He had half and half's a full. So both underneath and both on top of the head. He didn't technically touch his hands, but it's considered potentially dangerous. So 1 point near fall for, 1 point penalty point, I should say, for Keeler of Clarinda there. 29 seconds to go here, and still wrestling, and Reed of Glenwood works out top here, kind of on a power half. Got the right leg in here. And Keeler doing a good job, kind of keeping his base up to his knees. Now he kind of gets broken back down to his belly. We're down to about 5 seconds here in this first period. A little bit high there by Reed, and Keeler not able to quite back out the door here. So
I think Reed had a leg locked in too on that far side. 48-6 in favor of the Glenwood Rams. And we've got this one and 3 others to go yet here in this duel. Atlantic will wrestle. Glenwood is second. And then Clarinda the nightcap here at Atlantic. So we go to the second period, Cody. 48-6, 3-1 in favor of Reed, who's down. And then he gets a quick reversal,
Reed with
wow.
Kind of we used to call it a heavy man roll, where you grab the elbow and just basically roll through, and is able to get a reversal there. It was his choice here in the second period. He chose down. So it'll be a 2-point reversal, make it a 5-1 match right now. And we saw in the first period, he'd put both legs in. He goes ahead and puts the right leg in now. Kit takes it back out, grabs the left arm. It looks like he's going to try to work on a tilt here on Keeler of Clarinda. Breaks him back down, goes half left-hand side, now tries to get that right leg in. And he had that power half before. He gets his right side hip maybe down a little bit much. And Keeler trying to back out the back door here, and kind of tough when he's got his power half in the front and both legs not necessarily locked in, but enough to kind of break him back down to his belly here. Continues to work out front here. And you can see Keeler grab that left arm and kind of get him off his balance here. He reaches back to grab that head. And Reed doing a good job, kind of, even though he's kind of out of position here, he goes that power half now on that right-hand side, has that right leg partially in, able to continue to work forward and get the back exposed for probably a 4-point near fall. He readjusts here now, and
now he's going to get the fall.
Yeah, and he's trying to settle in here. Now he goes reverse half, grabs that opposite arm, settles in, and gets the fall here. So would have been 4-point near fall. He was able to adjust, go reverse half, and get the fall here.
3 minutes and 42-second fall for Mark Reed, and now it's a 54-6 lead for the Glenwood Rams with 38, 44, and 50 yet to go here in this duel.
Looks like, Glenwood's going to show here at 138 pounds. That'd be a forfeit. And we'll go up to 144 pounds. So at 138 pounds is Connor Weir of Glenwood winning by fall. At 144, both teams have wrestlers checking in here at the table. Got 2 matches left here basically before we kind of get back up to where we started. 144 pounds and 150 pounds. So it's Comer of Clarinda and Peveril of Glenwood. They're here at 144 pounds. Both wrestlers kind of going upper body here, just a little bit of pushing. Single leg shot attempt by Comer there of Clarinda. Still working kind of in that circle, fake shot attempt there by Peveril. Some separation. And both these coaches talked about some of these wrestlers, with minimal experience, and both of these wrestlers are really a deep double there by Comer. Tries to pick it up, go opposite direction, can't finish that shot, and Peveril of Glenwood trying to get back around behind here, and so far they're just continue to circle, and neither wrestler can take advantage of it. Comer now going opposite, almost like a fireman's there, just needs to reach up and grab that arm. And he's trying to dump the opposite direction, rolls him over, is able to get behind there for a 3-point takedown. Now he goes power half on the left-hand side. So Comer with a 3-point takedown here on top here, trying to lock up a cradle. Now he goes almost crab ride, chops that left-hand wrist, gets too far out front. Peveril is able to escape out the back door there and make it a 3-1 here with 28 seconds to go. Again, Comer able to get in on a shot. They both kind of circled there, and for a little while it looked like Peveril of Glenwood was going to be able to come back behind, and Comer did a nice job readjusting and being able to dump that on his side and finish that shot. So 3 seconds to go here in this first period. We'll go to the second period.
60-6 in favor of the Rams, and they've had either a fall or a forfeit. There has been no decisions or major decision or tech falls. It's all been pins or forfeits. The only win for Clarinda has been Dominic Polsey. He had a fall in 60 seconds over Niall Lundvall of Glenwood, and that made the score 18-6, and after that it's been all Glenwood. 60-6 here with 2 matches to go.
Yeah, Peveril goes down in this position. Near side cradle attempt by Comer. Comer not able to lock it up. Continues to work out front here on a power half. Peveril up to his feet, working on peeling hands. Nice trip back forward by Comer. Comer comes clear out in front here. And you see Peveril in on that single, going opposite direction, doing a good job circling towards the legs, trying to get that right arm through or elevate the leg there for a reversal, 2-point reversal. So we have a tie match here. We're going to stop it for headgear adjustment, it looks like, on Comer of Clarinda. Comer will go back down that bottom position here, 1:19 to go here in the second period. We're tied up at 3 here at 144 pounds. Peveril now going half. Comer coming up to his feet. USA freestyle throw there back to his back, and they're going to, John Walters stops that with, potentially dangerous there where he brings him back. So it's going to make it a 4-3 match now. So Comer will have that advantage as well as going back down here with 1:11 to go in that second period.
With 5 seconds remaining in the first period of wrestling, the winner of 175 pounds for
Peveril
Glenwood is Landon
tries a half Nelson on that left-hand side, but with Comer kind of having his base there, he's able to circle and almost come up to his feet here. Now he knee slides up to his feet, separates the hands, is able to separate those and get an escape to make it a 5-3 match here with 45 to go. Peveril right away in on a shot and able to finish that shot. He takes that lead back, 6-5, 35 seconds to go now. Kind of sits back towards both wrestlers, not in great position. Comer comes back up to his feet, tries to throw here now. He's in on a sprawl. Peveril maintains control and works out his way out of bounds here, and it should be probably a 1-point escape for Comer of Clarinda to make it a 6-6 match here. 17 and a half to go here in the second period, and both these guys are battling it, and you can tell that they're breathing pretty heavy. Not as heavy as you or I would be if we were out there. But
That wouldn't have lasted the first period.
Tom and I had wrestled 10-second periods. And Peveril with another
nice
takedown
move.
there as
Yeah.
time expires here in the second period. But right away, Comer back up to his feet, and Peveril able to drive forward there and return him to the mat. So we'll go to the third period. It is Clarinda's choice here, and he's going to go down here to start this third period. Peveril, Glenwood has that 9-6 lead. Comer's down and set in that bottom position. Peveril's going to cover the left-hand side. Right away goes to a half on the left-hand side. Tries to circle the head here, and Comer comes back up, reaches back for a cradle of his own, and he gets stacked up himself. He's trying to get his hips over the top here, and it looks like he's going to get too near fall here. Had kind of a loose cradle. Now Comer trying to get in between the legs, settle in, turn and face here. And he's going to probably end up with a reversal here, if not putting Comer or Peveril on his back. He keeps that arm, and he's going to try to break the arm off or use it as leverage, and he needs to settle in on chest here, or
that's
stop
potentially
it for
dangerous.
Potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's 11-8 match now. 1:18 to go in the third period. These guys are doing a great job battling. Kind of the first match we've seen go the distance of the whole duel.
We've either had falls or we had forfeits, and this is going to be a decision or more. But yeah, two wrestlers really fighting for it here. Is just over a minute to go here in this third period.
Peveril down and set there. Comer covers that left-hand side right away, drives in. Drops to a single leg as Peveril works on a reversal here. Tries to circle around behind and finish that. And Peveril again with that advantage, length advantage. Tries to settle in here. Both wrestlers in tough position and back exposure there by Comer. Comer now is going to drop to the other side and see if he can get a half Nelson here and get a turn. Now he goes to the right-hand side for that half Nelson. He tries to peel the arms, and it's going to be another, as Tom would say, two half Nelsons. We're going to stop the match, and it'll be a penalty point awarded for Peveril, as he had both hands in on a full Nelson there. So Comer trails 10-8 here. He's on top, 39 seconds to go. Needs to get some points here, and he kind of works out front here, trying to peel an arm, and again, tries to drive forward, get Peveril on his back. Peveril does a nice job scooting. We're down to 25 to go here now. Comer readjusts, both wrestlers right on the edge of the mat. 20 to go. Comer's gonna try to get him back in bounds here. Peveril's able to turn and get a reversal here with 13 to go. Switches off to a kind of a half Nelson on that left-hand side to ride this match out at 144. It'll be a 14-8 decision for Peveril of Glenwood over Comer of Clarinda here at 144 pounds.
And after 6 minutes of wrestling, third period.
So we'll go up to 150 pounds now.
The winner from Glenwood, it's Owen Peveril.
And it looks like Clarinda's got a show first here, and it doesn't look like there's anybody coming out for 150 pounds for Clarinda. And for 150 for Glenwood, there's a wrestler checking in. This will be the last one, and it looks like it's going to be a forfeit here at 150 pounds for Glenwood, and it's Jackson Erickson of Glenwood winning by forfeit there at 150 pounds.
Well, we'll take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with more here from Atlantic on 95 or on our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knudsen, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Once you're back at the shop, we talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa is a nationally recognized hospital, and we are proud of the awards and all of our recent accomplishments. But do you know what drives us to be the very best? You. We're passionate about helping our patients heal and feel their very best at any age and any stage of life. Cass Health, neighbors caring for neighbors.
welcome back to Atlantic. Tom Robinson and Cody Weaver we're getting set for the Atlantic and Glenwood matchup, and then Atlantic and Clarinda be the nightcap here. It's senior night in Atlantic, Cody Weaver, and the match that we just had on our live stream was Glenwood and Clarinda, and it was Glenwood dominating with a 69-6 win over the Cardinals. Right now we have JV matches going on, and then Atlantic and Glenwood will take to the mat here. Big crowd on hand. We've got Villa Dance here tonight, and we'll have senior night. The seniors will be honored here. 3 wrestlers, a manager, and a cheerleader will be honored here this evening. And Mabry Ohm is the manager for Atlantic, a senior, and Gabby Porter, a senior cheerleader. And for the seniors for Atlantic, Evan Sorensen will be honored. Aiden Smith and Cameron McDermott will all be honored here at senior night tonight. Welcome to the broadcast here at 95.7 FM and our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com. It's powered by Nishton Net. Coaches Show brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hash, your local good neighbor. We had the Coaches Show earlier here this afternoon about 5:15 with Coach Duff. And the match with Glenwood and Clarinda. We're going to have the match of the evening on that one. It's brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Hass. We'll get to that here in a moment. There was a lot of falls. We just had one decision, Cody, in that particular match as well. Our broadcast brought to you by Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll. First Whitney Bank. They're the only bank you'll ever need. First Whitney Bank. Body Basic, call 254-BODY. Get your body back to the basics. And the Seed Pros, so by your side to maximize yields from the word go. Your Pioneer Pros, John Becker, Mark Ventiger, Gary Dinkla, and Nick Knutson. So Glenwood and Clarinda, and we're going to wrap up or recap that match. But right after this 2-minute timeout on 95.7 FM on our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
The Super Bowl in Atlantic is a great place to have your next celebration. Birthday parties, family outings, date nights, or just hanging out with friends. The Super Bowl is the place to be. With Glow Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights, and ramps and bumpers for the kids, anyone can have a blast at the Super Bowl. Call Dan today at 243-4656 to reserve your lane and get ready for fun.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic Hy-Vee, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor, and on behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading our surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
They started out at 157 pounds, and Reese Fowle of Glenwood pinned Barrett Hagee of Clarinda at 106. Then Trayton Williamson of Glenwood took the mat at 165, and he also picked up 6 more points for the Rams with a forefoot. It was 12-0 right out of the gate. Then at 190 pounds, Dominic Poles-Lee of Clarinda. He pinned Niall Lundvall of Glenwood in 1 minute. And then we move on to 190, and I should say Jacob Oust of Glenwood over Griffin Phillips of Clarinda by a pin at 139. Mason Kohler, 2:15, came out, and he had a fall over Mason Nally in 57 seconds in that match at 2:15 for Glenwood. Greg Boothie of Glenwood at 2:85, won by a 4-foot as well. A double at 4-foot at 1:06, and Brody Black of Glenwood, he won by a 4-foot at 1:13. Then at 1:20, Christian Lopez of Glenwood pinned Hayden Hash of Clarinda at 1:43. At 1:26, Ben Christensen of Glenwood won by a 4-foot at 1:32. Mark Reed of Glenwood over Alex Keeler of Clarinda by a fall at 3:42. Connor Weir for the Glenwood Rams. He came out and won by a 4-foot at 1:38. At 1:44, Owen Peverville of Glenwood over Emmett Comer of Clarinda in a decision 13-8. And at 1:50, Jason Erickson of Glenwood won by a 4-foot at 1:50. And at 75, we had an extra match here with Wade Llewellyn of Glenwood over Gabe Hansen of Clarinda in a fall at 1:35. Villa Dance is here tonight. Huge crowd on hand here at Atlantic, Cody. And your thoughts about that Clarinda Glenwood match just dominated by the Rams, huh?
It was. I mean, there were some, decent matches, I would say, at the start of the period, the first period. There was only one that went the distance, that 144 pounds, and it was Peverville of Glenwood winning that with a 13-8 decision over Emmett Comer. I would probably say that was the match, just because it went the distance. But when you look back at some of the other matches, Hayden Hash and Christian Lopez there at 120 pounds. Hash came out and looked like he was going to go upper body, and Lopez had a little bit of length and was able to get on a single leg. And once he had Hash down on the mat, he was able to kind of take care of business. Didn't get in a hurry or anything, and ended up winning that by falling him in at 43. So, but again, the match of the meet to me is Owen Peverville of Glenwood over Emmett Comer. Both of those guys wrestled hard the whole match, kept it close at a 13-8 decision, and kind of made the duel.
And the match of the meet is brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. We're back right after this from Elvis Haas, so your local good neighbor, our match of the meet. We don't need the intro music into this, Cody Weaver. Villa Dance, Haley Pelzer and her staff, and what a group out there right now. I wouldn't know how many dancers we have going, but they fill both mats on this gym floor and then some.
And you can see that on your live stream. It's basically taking up the whole camera lens there.
We're live streaming here on WesternIowaToday.com, powered by Nishnanet, and the Villa Dancers out on the mat right now, performing in front of this huge crowd here in Atlantic. And of course, the first match was Glenwood and Clarinda. The Rams won that one 69-6. Now Glenn will take on the Trojans here in match 2. What do you expect here?
I expect to have a full lineup, really by both teams, and there's going to be some key matches at, Brody Black. It was one that Coach Duff talked about, around the 120, 113-pound weights. He talked about Reese Falble, and Reese looked really good in his first duel there. And then at 215 pounds and 285 pounds, you have the two ranked wrestlers for Glenwood. Going through Atlantic's lineup, you have a pretty solid lineup for Atlantic. And it's going to be come down to bonus points. Obviously, the bonus points kind of get out of hand when there's a lot of 4-foots like against Clarinda. So we'll have some head-to-head matches and see how those matches are, and if Atlantic can take advantage of bonus points, and we'll see how the duel turns out. It'd be nice to see a full duel.
No doubt about it. And, it should be pretty competitive with both those teams. Atlantic just one loss in the conference, and that was Lewis Central. We had that broadcast in that live video stream. It was just 1 point in that match. Quite competitive. Lewis Central had a few opens, which made a difference there, but Trojans having a good season.
They are. They're fairly solid all the way through the lineup, and everybody continues to improve. And when you look at the thing that probably impressed me the most is the Roland Dyer tournament. Atlantic came out and competed. Their wrestlers, a lot of them finished better than what they were seeded, I should say. So that was nice to see that. And then they went to Marion last weekend, and a couple of the key wrestlers, didn't necessarily wrestle, but they ended up, I believe, 4th as a team. And but the kids that were there, competed, and I think our top finisher was 3rd place, and that was Braxton Haas, one of our, I'll call it a senior, even though he's not a senior wrestler, but been in the lineup kind of all 3 years so far of his career. So.
Well, we've got the Villa Dancers here between matches. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. And we'll be back with more pre-match coverage on 95.7 FM and our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP superior fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the Keep You Going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs chicken and pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the Keep You Going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us at rollinghillsbank.com.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. Or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
Oak Point Wealth Management is making important changes to better serve you. Wealth Manager Aaron Friend is proud to announce that Oak Point Wealth has partnered with LBL Financial, providing comprehensive tools and resources to support your financial goals. Aaron remains committed to serving Southwest Iowa with personalized service backed by LBL's dynamic technology and investment platform.
I'm excited to embrace independence and keep my focus on what matters most, my clients' best interests.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
As we're getting set up for the Atlantic Glenwood match coming up here in a little bit, Villa Dance is entertaining the big crowd here tonight. And the Trojans, it's a quick turnaround, Cody, for you too.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we'll have the John J. Harris Wrestling Tournament. Clarinda also will be there. It's always a great tournament at the Activity Center in Corny. We'll have reports and live coverage of the finals on Saturday afternoon, and also live video as well. Your thoughts on that, John Harris?
They're going to be, we start at 4 o'clock tomorrow. There'll be updates probably roughly every half hour. They start with pigtails to see who actually gets in the front, in the bracket itself, and then we'll work our way kind of all the way through the quarters tomorrow night. And then we start a little bit later on Saturday at 10 a.m. And we'll work our way kind of both gyms, the Activity Center. I think it's 106 through 144, and the bigger guys are in the actual school gym. And we'll work our way through that tournament 2 days, and we'll go from there. So have updates, and like you said, the finals will be live. So
we're hearing that bell, and we're getting set for Atlantic and Glenwood here. Coming up next, then Atlantic will wrestle Clarinda in this Hawkeye 10 Conference Triangler here at Atlantic tonight. Head coach for Glenwood is Tucker Weber, and head coach for Atlantic is Tim Duff. And of course, Coach Weber wrestled under Coach Duff. Or excuse me, it was assistant coach under Coach Duff. Coach Sorensen of Clarinda wrestled under Coach Duff.
I think there's been a lot of people, including my kid, that's wrestled under Coach Duff.
Yeah, there you go.
If you can't get off the bottom, guess who your partner is? Coach Duff's gonna ride you all practice until you get mad enough you can get off the bottom. So there's he may have wrestled underneath him at one time. But
Cody, as far as this one is concerned in Glenwood Atlantic, what are some of the bigger matches we're going to see here?
For sure the Brody Black match at 13, if him and Colin Harris match up, Coach Duff talked about that being a close match. The other one is Reese Falbel and Draven Smith. Those two probably are going to battle. Falbel kind of out, a lot of last year is back, and Draven Smith himself as a sophomore has improved so much gain within the last year and a half. And then I'm going to go up to the probably 285-pound, where you've got the number 1 ranked wrestler out of Evan Sorensen of Atlantic, and he's going to be taking on Drake Buthe, who's in the top 5 anyway, ranking-wise. So those will kind of be the key matches that I'll look for to be competitive, and the others are going to be maybe some toss-up matches.
Broadcast brought to you in part by 2nd Street Auto, your transmission pros. Cass Health, the neighbors caring for neighbors. And Outfitters Plus Outlet Store, your home for personalized sports apparel in Atlantic. 69-6, that was the score of Glenwood and Clarinda. And we'll see what the Trojans have here tonight against the Glenwood Rams as they will start at where? And we started at 57.
Yeah, it should be 65.
65 is where we're going to start here in this next duel. And then they'll start at 175 pounds in Atlantic and Clarinda. So our first matchup, we can speculate here for the Trojans.
Be Callan Cleaver, freshman, and to be Niall Lundvall, a sophomore that we saw for Glenwood.
That'll kick things off here, and then we will move up to 175, or we start at 65. 175, Hinman might be wrestling too at 65, Cody, possibly for Atlantic. Unless he moves up.
I haven't not seen him warm up. I don't know if we may see an actual shift and kind of the mid-weights up to fill that if Hinman is not here. So you might see some kids wrestling up a weight compared to what we normally see. And, this time of year, you've got Hawkeye 10 next weekend. So you're going to face them tonight, then you'd face them next Saturday. And that's going to be in Denison, I believe, the Hawkeye 10
It's up in Denison. Yep, we'll have coverage as well. Live video stream and a play-by-play and reports as well. Hey, we're going to take a 60-second timeout. We're back right after these.
Is your New Year's resolution to save?
Just when you think he's Mr. Perfect, he wakes up and proves me wrong. You can't charge a junk battery. Look here, mister. Replace it. I called Atlantic Egg and Auto, gave them make and model, and they have a new battery waiting at the counter. Go. Go now. Here's a Mr. Pibb and peanut M&Ms to tide you over so you don't have to make any stops. Atlantic and Audubon Egg and Auto, your only locally owned CarQuest retail stores. Your go-to for batteries, parts, and sometimes fixing relationship and his hunger problems.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business, from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
To square off here in Hawkeye 10 Conference wrestling action. Evan Sorensen looks like he's going to be one captain for Atlantic out there at center circle. And speaking of center circle, Atlantic girls basketball team, a trainer tonight, just a JV varsity deal for the girls side. And then on Monday night, it'll be a girl-boy doubleheader at Creston. We'll have the broadcast right here on 95.7 FM, our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com. Pre-game for the girls at 5:45. A tip-off at 6 for the boys' game to follow. Then, of course, tomorrow we'll have reports from the Activity Center in Corning for the John J. Harris Wrestling Tournament. Chris Varney will be there for that broadcast on 95.7 FM, and Chris on KSOM, our voice of KSOM, and a good one at that. And then Saturday will be the reports until about 3 o'clock, 3:30, and then they'll have the finals, and Cody Wee will have the play-by-play of that coming up this weekend. So looking forward to that. The Roland Dyer tournament was a good one for Atlantic. We'll see what they can do down at the John J. Harris Wrestling Tournament. Winter set is there. Yeah, always tough.
Looks like at this point, Atlantic's got a full lineup, and they'll send everybody down there. And last couple of years, Creston's been pretty tough down there, and Atlantic's been in the top 3, and so we'll see who else is. You look at some of the smaller schools that come, and Lennox is building a program. I know that we had some kids at the elementary duel down in Clarinda last Sunday. Atlantic ended up 4th, and Lennox is one of the teams that beat us elementary duel. So it's going to be 65 is going to be Draven Smith. So we are bumping some kids around here.
So Draven Smith of Atlantic will step on the mat at 165 pounds. We'll get Glenwood's.
It's Trayton Williamson for Glenwood. And their officials are ready to go here.
And we're underway. Here we go.
Smith with a collar tie there, both sides. Williamson trying to get an inside tie there. Smith with a kind of drop down to maybe a far side ankle. Now Williamson with an underhook. Smith trying to throw him here, and that's probably not going to be one of Coach Duff's favorite moves. So they're going to go out of bounds and come back in, and Smith kind of a low ankle, a pick attempt there. Slide by there by Smith, able to get behind Williamson. Right away tries to put that right leg in, gets pretty high here. Now the left leg, and you can see Williamson reaching up over the top here, and Smith able to, has his head stuck there. Now goes to a power half on the left-hand side.
Raymond Smith with a 3-point takedown, and riding right now. It looks like Williamson trying to get to his base, Cody, but he's got his legs locked in there good.
He's kind of coming up here, and I was never a leg wrestler myself, and my kids weren't leg wrestlers, and you put yourself in different positions some of the time, and Smith with the left one in now, right boot out. He's working on a power half on that right-hand side. Wants to try to go forward, but really Williamson doing a good job keeping on his base. If he goes down to his belly, then maybe Smith can kind of drive forward here, but Smith is almost stuck, with no movement there. Kind of sits back, follows behind here, but again, you see him posting with that left hand, and Williamson gets a hold of that left hand, he's going to be in trouble. And you see Smith's left hip, continues to want to go down to the mat a lot, and it's just not a good position to be in.
20 seconds to go in this first period. 3-0 Williamson, but he's kind of in a precarious position here. Well, there he's going to get that leg back around.
Smith holding on, but he's got his left leg trapped, so time's going to expire. But again, Smith is...
Well, he's riding a little high.
He's riding really high, but he's kind of behind the shoulder. But you see that left hip again on the mat, and it's he avoided a reversal there, but that's it wears the opponent out underneath trying to get out of there, and you on top you're just kind of sitting in. So
Draven Smith up 3-0, and he'll go down to start the second period. And he's going to get a switch right away, Cody Weaver.
Smith with a quick switch there right away. Now he's going to go back to a tilts Williamson up. Going to get a near fall here, and that's what we see a lot of. Some of these, I'll call it sophomore class.
Yep.
They really like that tilt. Now he kind of goes crab right underneath the arm, around the neck, reaches for that opposite arm. He's going to try to circle the head if he can get a good grip on that arm and get him broke down here.
You mentioned that sophomore class, a really good one. And a lot of these guys wrestle year-round, Cody. That's one reason.
Yeah, it makes a difference. I mean, whether they go to, Powerhouse or Best Wrestler, and just being active and kind of keeping the team chemistry throughout the summer makes a big difference, because they can help push each other and help each other hold them accountable. So Smith, you see, putting both feet back in, and he's got some big hoofs and drives forward there. But again, he does break Williamson down here, tries to go power half now on the left-hand side. Works out front here, but he needs to continue to drive forward. Williamson did a good job getting that leg out, so right now Smith is up front, I guess, with no legs in, is able to settle back behind here now. Goes back to crab ride, deep waist, thigh pry on that left-hand side. Able to circle around here to the right. Smith's going to try a tilt again. Kind of has a hold of the left arm a little bit, releases that now, goes back to a chicken wing, and Williamson really is just too strong underneath there and is able to pull that left arm forward. Smith now trying to use some leverage here and get that arm back under control.
Williamson has not been able to do anything, though. The first 2 periods.
Yeah, Smith
down to
with
15 seconds left.
Chicken wing now on the left-hand side, tries a half on the right-hand side, and he's going to run out of time here. But he's going to have a 9-0 decision or lead right now as we go into the third period. And it'll probably be Williamson's choice here as Smith was down. It looks like he wants to go neutral on his feet. So Smith with that takedown in that first period. They're both on their feet here, and Smith with a collar tie on the left-hand side. He was down on the opposite ankle there, kind of an ankle sweep, released it, came back up to his feet.
Smith has been in pretty much control the entire match. And Williams has got to get something going here. He's down 9-0. There's a shot for a single.
Yeah,
good defense by Draven Smith, Cody.
He's got to finish it, though.
Yeah, he's high.
You see he did a nice job elevating that leg. He readjusts his hips here now and continues to post outside. If he reaches underneath here in a power half, he's got his left leg inside. It looks like he's working on a spladle is what he's working on. But Williamson is adjusting and going to work on a reversal here.
Yeah, he's got it. Yep.
Got the arm through, and now he's going to go to a half and try to work out front here, cross-face cradle, and Smith's got to come back up to his base and get out of the bottom here.
Well, at some point, you just got to give it up, and that's what Smith had to do. And now he's being worked on by Williamson at the top.
He's got a 12-2 decision here with a little under a minute to go in this third period. Needs to come up and he got a reversal in the beginning of the second period there, rode him out here, and you can see Smith now is broke kind of back down, and Williamson's got the leg in and says, hey, you did this to me, see how this feels? So Smith right now real strong base, gets the right arm tied up. Williamson not able to, you like to see him, put that elbow right in the middle of the back of the opponent, and now Smith grabs that left arm and going to try to get him, on his side and then slip that left arm through for a reversal here if he can. Short time to go, 10 to go here, third period, and Smith with a real strong base, and Williamson not able to capitalize on any near fall points here.
Smith with a major decision, 12-2 over Trayton Williamson of Glenwood. Atlanta gets off to a good start. A 4-0 lead here right out of the gates. And we go to 175 pounds, Cody Weaver.
Williamson says, I'm not even going to wait for the official to come back. I'm going to shake his hand and get off the mat. So it'll be, his coach is saying you need to get back in there. And
so we go to 175, and probably Callan Cleaver for the Trojans. We'll double check that. As
Callan Cleaver is up there, it looks like. Here at 175, so Hinman must be out of the lineup tonight.
So Draven Smith with a 12-2 major decision over Trayton Williamson. Atlanta goes up 4-0 on the Seed Pros scoreboard, and 175 the next match.
And this will be Lunville of Glenwood and Callan Cleaver of Atlantic. Both wrestlers shake here, and right away Lunville in on a fireman's, able to capitalize that. He keeps the arm, walks towards the head, has Cleaver on his back, settles in now, reverse half. He's going to get some near fall, drives forward, has Cleaver's left shoulder exposed, does a nice job settling, releases that now to come back top. So 4 near fall, so takedown. Now he's got the arm barred up here. He's going to go underneath the right arm, hook that wrist of Cleaver, come out front here, grab the chin, flip him over, and once you're in that position, you're in trouble. You have no leverage. So you see him reaching forward here. Now he just switches off to a half, drives forward, settles in. Cleaver trying to post here, and Lunville just taking his time. He's got a minute 12 to go here, settles in here. He posts that arm, settles over here. We call a Saturday night ride, hooks both legs and gets the fall over Cleaver. So now Lunville there with a fall for Glenwood at 175 pounds. Glenwood takes a 6'4" team advantage here, and we're going to go to 190 pounds. It'll be Donnie. 190. It looks like Glenwood right now, they do have somebody checking in here. So
Donovan Hedrington at 190 pounds. Lundville with a fall in 58 seconds over Callan Cleaver at 175 pounds. Niall Lundville with the win there. Now the Rams take a 2-point lead. And here we go at 190 pounds.
Yeah, and this is Asta Glenwood taking on Hedrington here. Kind of a slide-by attempt there by Hedrington. Ost wanting to go upper body here. Underhook on the one-hand side. They separate back to some separation on their feet here. 2-on-1 tie-in. Hedrington now kind of in a throwing position here. Hedrington backing out here, and an underhook there on the left-hand side of Hedrington, and some separation from him and Ost. Hedrington goes over the top of the arm with the, tries to slide by there, allows Ost in on that side. Hedrington now has the leverage there, just drops into needs to drop into a single there and finish that shot. Elevate, drop down, get in that single and go opposite direction with it. Kind of an underhook really off and on by both here. We separate under a minute to go here in this first period scoreless. Hedrington now with an underhook on the left side of Ost. Goes over the top of the head here, tries to shuck down, goes near side cradle on Ost, tries to, gets that leg, circles around behind here, and Ost doing a good job staying on his feet here and circling that same direction to avoid any points.
You don't have to do a whole lot during these. I understand.
They slide by attempt there by Ost, so we're going to down to 20 seconds here in this first period, scoreless on our feet. Ost tries to get the inside tie there on Hedrington. Hedrington switches to an underhook now, and Ost wants to get kind of in a throwing position, and they go out of bounds and going to come back to center with 6.5 to go.
Kind of similar to a heavyweight type match here, Cody. Not a lot of activity. No score.
Now they're going to slide by attempt there by
good attempt by Hedrington.
It'll be Atlantic's choice here, and he's going to go down to start the second period. Scoreless here at 190 pounds. Go into the second period. Hedrington down in that bottom position. He's down and set. Ost is going to cover that right-hand side. Hedrington up to his feet here. Ost tries to elevate. Almost a standing switch there by Hedrington, which you don't see a lot of anymore, is released by Ost for that escape. So Hedrington with the 1-0 lead right now. Now that slide by attempt again. Tries to get to a single. Ost likes that double under hook. Hedrington you see working inside tie here, now over the head here. Going to try to snap down. Ost just really has a nice strong base. Tries to circle, goes opposite direction. And Ost just a real solid, you can tell by his legs, and he's got good legs and good hips. Tough to get in on a shot, and then again when he's pushing, turning that way, Hedrington able to drop in on a single here, grabs that ankle, he's got his right foot in, no points awarded here. Hedrington tries to drag him in bounds here, which he's trying to do. Both wrestlers on the mat here, so you see Hedrington grab that ankle, goes opposite direction, dumps him on his seat for that takedown, and just right on the edge of the mat. So just under a minute to go here in the second period. I think the scorers table has a tough time remembering that it's a 3-point takedown instead of a 2. I saw that in one of the JV matches.
6-0 should be the score. Henry had a really nice move at the edge of the mat.
Yeah, he did. He was able to grab the ankle, was able to pull him in bounds here, and then go opposite direction and dump him to finish that shot. Hedrington is able to push him out. 16.5 to go here.
And a 6-0 lead. You might see on the scoreboard on our live video stream 4-0, but it's 6-0 in favor of Hedrington with a couple of takedowns. Now he's going to ride Jacob Ost here in this second period. 9 seconds to go, 8 seconds. And Hedrington has it locked in here with the legs. And we're going to run out of time in the second. And Hedrington up 6-0 on the St. Pro scoreboard. Glenwood leading 6-4. Draven Smith of Atlantic won by a 12-2 major decision, 165. Put Atlantic up 4-0. Then Lundville of Glenwood won by a fall in 58 seconds over Calvin Cleaver. Rams lead 6-4, and Hedrington will cover the top, Cody.
Yeah, Hedrington trying to break him down. Oust again, really good, solid legs. Hedrington is able to drop in on that single. Oust almost with the reversal and just gets a 1-point escape to make it 6-1 here.
One thing about this meet tonight, and they're going to see each other again in the Hawkeye 10. These two will probably see each other again at districts down at Glenwood as well.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to meet a few more times. Good hip pressure there by Hedrington, pushing into Oust, kind of on the edge, and that's where, Hedrington continued to wrestle on the edge there, and Oust was able to relax a little bit, and Hedrington was able to finish that shot. So you see Coach Cox there, just snap the head down, and we're down to just about a minute here in the third period. Oust in on a single, and they're going to come back to the center here.
6-1, Donovan Hedrington, the junior, for Atlantic with the lead. 1 minute to go here in this third period.
And both these guys we saw in the first period, I think they went scoreless. They were pretty even on their feet. Hedrington was able to get a takedown there. Hedrington likes that outside, circles in that near side cradle, and Oust just a strong base here, but really not a lot of shot attempts or offense by Oust here.
It's been Hedrington with you. There's a shot by Oust, but he missed. And another 3-point takedown for Hedrington, Cody. 9-1 in favor of Hedrington.
Yeah, it looks like it's 7, though, so they did give him 3 there, but I'm not sure. I think Smith is telling the official that, hey, you need to add a couple more to it.
Yeah, it should be 9-1.
Oust with a kind of an escape attempt there. Does get an escape here with 13 to go. Hedrington comes in. Both wrestlers tied up here. 8 seconds to go. Another outside single shot attempt there. Hedrington's able to circle around behind here for another takedown and to make it a major decision here at 190. And that every team point makes a difference. So 10-2.
Well, it should be 12-2, shouldn't it?
I'm not sure what the score is.
Okay, but Atlanta goes up 8-6 with that 4 points here at 190. So at 65, Smith with a 12-2 major decision. Hedrington with a major decision, 190, 12-2. In the meantime, Niall Lundville of Glenwood had a pin over Calvin Cleaver of Atlantic at 175. A close match, 8-6. We go to 215.
Yeah, 215. You've got your number 1 ranked wrestler in 2A, Mason Kohler, taking on freshman Traven Thomas. Outside kind of fireman there. They're going to stop the match here. The clock is not running, and
well, the clock is running.
It is now. You got to make up for it.
That's right. Kohler, what a career he's had for the Rams. And like you mentioned, is he going to play football in college or is he going to wrestle?
Yeah, and he kind of, there was a 3-point takedown there, and they started back on their feet. Kohler with a kind of an opposite side fireman there to take down originally, and he's got control of the right elbow of Thomas. Drives in, goes to that same shot, able to get a slide by here. Releases Thomas back up to his feet, and then escape here, and another outside single shot. Good job by Thomas there, going circling opposite direction to avoid that, and Kohler's going to drive him out of bounds here. We're going to come back to center. 1:08 to go here in the first period. It's 3-1. Mason Kohler with that lead. And Kohler's gone opposite side. Fireman's like he went right there. Able to pick up that leg, dump opposite direction. Gets a 3-point takedown, releases him here. Thomas comes back into the center. Double leg shot here. Try to elevate. Takes Thomas to his back. Thomas tries to do what he can do to fight off, and Kohler with the fall there. We're going to go to 285 pounds, so it looks like going to be 2 ranked wrestlers here. And Coach Weber was looking forward to this kind of matchup, just to see, at least before we get to districts, to see how Buthe, stacks up against Sorensen.
Glenwood now leading 12-8 of the Seed Pro scoreboard. And as you mentioned, Cody, this is a big one here. Probably the match of the night here, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and I mean, and you look at either the Hawkeye 10 or districts, the seeding, or even at state, depending upon how these guys go into state, how they're ranked, the seeding could be a difference on the side of the bracket that you end up against, or who you end up against at state meet or district tournament. So Sorensen this year has been really a lot more of a controlled wrestler. From my standpoint. We used to see him do like suicide cradles, and he'd end up on his back, and he was strong enough he was able to go through a lot of those, and this time once he gets on top he just controls. So
he tried to get that first takedown there, the first shot here in this match, and Buthe with a nice block.
Yeah, and Buthe both trying to go underhook here, and Buthe longer and lankier wrestler. Both wrestlers don't really feel comfortable in that position. They separate, and a minute to halfway through this first period, and we're scoreless on our feet. Both wrestlers, very athletic, very quick. So it's not what you see a lot in a 285-pound match. I wouldn't be surprised to see a single or double leg, by either one of these wrestlers.
Glenwood with the 2 falls, Atlantic with 2 major decisions, and the Rams up 12-8 through 4 matches.
Yeah. Buthe's wanting to go double underhook here and suck Sorensen up, and Sorensen doing a good job backing out here. It's not double underhook, it's just one side, so he's either going to do headlock attempt or throw attempt, and Sorensen backing up and is going to get a stall call here. So he was able to avoid the stall call there, but you're going to have to just stay out of that position from a tie-up standpoint and either just shoot in on a leg and finish a shot. But again, both wrestlers are some of the more athletic 285-pounders that you're going to see.
Well, and think about it, Buthe gets to wrestle Kohler every day, and how much is that going to help him? Both of those wrestlers, actually. Nice shot. Or Sorensen a shot. About got it. It went out of bounds.
Right, and Buthe had a nice whizzer in there to avoid those points scored. So that's the end of the first period. Buthe's going to go down here to start the second period. Buthe down and set. Sorensen covers that left-hand side. And this is where Sorensen's strength comes into attack. He gets a cradle in right away.
He got her.
And he's got it stacked up good and tight here. Got him. Side and gets the fall.
Got him.
And that's, at this point, it doesn't necessarily hurt anything for later on the road. So, Sorensen's, had a little bit of success on his feet there, but before they get to, not next weekend necessarily, but districts, what do I need to do on my feet to be able to get a takedown on this guy? He wants to go upper body with me. I need to, when he reaches in, I need to go for a shot.
Well, Buthe's not going to go down again.
Right, and Buthe, well, I mean, if
he's going to learn that.
And Buthe's like, as soon as I feel a cradle come in, I've got to, straighten out and belly out. And so that's important to do that, so.
So Keith Schrader, Cody, he won by a 4-foot for Atlantic at 106. Trojans go up 20-12. As the Rams open at 6, now we go to 13.
Yeah, we're going to go to 113, and Coach Duff talked about this. So it is Harris and Black, and Harris with a slide-by attempt there. Double underhook here by Harris, and Black kind of grabs those arms and keeps Harris from being able to do anything quick here because he's got that underhook on it, and they're going to go out of bounds and come back to the center.
Well, there's another big match here in the meet. What you're saying? These guys will see each other twice more for sure.
Yeah, and Harris with a really nice
job.
Stuff the head and is able to circle around behind here. Now works on that left hand wrist. Black, you can see, has his elbow in position to maintain control, and Harris right away goes inside wrist control there, peels that out, goes 2-on-1, kind of does a nice job though keeping Black bellied out here.
We'll go back to Black with that the takedown attempt, but Harris did a nice job
Harris
of
was
defense.
able to kind of stuff the head there and just get around behind him quick enough and get that 3-point takedown. So he's going to go kind of I'll call it the sophomore tilt here, is what I'm going to call it. But he's trying to tuck that left arm in, and you can see he's doing all he can do to pull him in, and Black trying to do all he can do to scoot out of bounds. And, he's posting out, and Harris is trying to suck him in and keep that 1 foot in bounds, and, not having a lot of success. And Black is trying to reach outside here, and Harris doing a good job, again, keeping him broken down, and they call him out of bounds. The mats here maybe aren't as big as some of the mats, and there's not a lot of distance between the circle and the wood floor, and there's no use of anybody getting hurt. So 3-0, Harris with that lead. He covers left-hand side here, Black up to his feet. Harris drops down to 2, able to bring him back down, goes half on the left-hand side, now goes deep waist, left side, thigh pry, left side, left half, kind of a snow plow here, arm in the elbow. He bends that arm backwards, and either the opponent will go where you want him to, or they're going to stop it. So it's it's not about being nice.
Potentially dangerous call there, and they'll go back to the middle of the mat. He had that arm in a tough spot there. Harris again covers the top side on Brody Black. Harris up 3-0.
He's doing a good job keeping good hip and shoulder pressure, and Black really not able to get up to his feet much. He was able to come up once. Harris was able to drop down to 2 there, followed him down. It's Green's choice. Harris is going to go down here to start the second period.
Harris with that 3-point takedown. That's all the scoring so far in the first couple of minutes. Harris going to get to his feet here, and he's going to get loose for 1.
Yeah, and right away you can see him going forward on the offense. Another slide-by attempt there. He's able to get back behind him, and he's going to go right back to working, tough on top. Got that snow plow again on the left-hand side there where the arm, use the armpit in your head. Try to circle him around here. Now he's trying to peel a wrist out here. You can see Harris keeps that right leg kind of inside in between the legs, which keeps Black from able to circle around here, and Harris now trying to work on a power half here.
Well, I think Colin Harris about as aggressive as we've seen him all year long coming out here tonight. That's one thing Coach Duff wanted to work on over the break, was be a little bit more aggressive on your feet, and Harrison certainly has been an aggressor here. Black almost gets the escape, but they go out of bounds.
Yeah, and Harris is doing a good job. And the problem is when Harris gets off the hips, which he has to try to get some type of pinning combination or get something going offensively, then Black is able to finally get up. But, if Harris peels out the left arm, he goes down to the left hip, and defensively is turning the opposite direction to avoid Harris from scoring any near fall points.
So on the whistle, Black tried to sit out on Harris again, slams him right back down, flat on the mat again.
It's he's got a 7-0 lead here with 50 to go here in the second period. Again, he's, it's hard to say. When we get to this time of year, you're getting kind of closer toward the last quarter of the season, and a lot of times you won't let the officials don't want them to stay behind the hips like Harris is. You need to be doing something offensively, but your bottom guy defensively is kind of bellied out and going opposite. If Colin goes right, he goes down to the right hip. If Colin goes left, he goes to his left hip. So at this point, really neither wrestler, Harris is doing what he can do on the left wrist, and then he goes to the right side. He's got the right thigh pry in, and he's, it's just defensively, it's a defensive match at this point. Time's going to expire, and it'll be Black's choice here in the third period.
We owe you station ID. We're back right after this. Third period coming up.
Is KSWI Atlantic, a proud part of Meredith Communications. KS 95.7.
Third period, Harris on top, Cody.
Yeah, and I think, as a wrestler, you just got rode basically for 4 minutes. You don't want to be on the bottom, but your best chance to score is from the bottom. So we're going to come back to the center. So, if Colin doesn't turn him, let's say within a minute, Coach Duff's going to say, let him go, and you need another takedown to make it a major. It's 7-0 right now. We need 14 points. So
Atlantic up 20-12 at this point.
And so far, it's been Harris on his feet. You know, not a lot of shots by Black, so you have nothing to lose. I mean, he's doing what he can do. You know you can ride him. And again, from now to 2 weeks from now for the Hawkeye 10, what do I need to work on to be able to tilt this kid or do something offensively?
Again, riding those hips there. We'll see if he... Black just really can't do anything on the bottom.
Well, to me, he's kind of defensive. So both wrestlers, yes, Colin's on the hips, but anytime he goes right, it's defensive that way. If Colin goes left, it's defensive that way. So, but really, offensively, it's a stalemate.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what needs to happen. And
you called it, Cody. Duffy's going to have him go up. Try to get that major up 7-0 here.
So, I mean, at this point, if this was Hawkeye 10, I would probably want to do some other type of takedown. You see he just tried for a double there, which is nice because he did 2 slide-bys before. Is a double going to work for me if I get in a double in this kid? I know I can do a slide-by. I did it twice, but I don't want to do it 5 times in this match. I want to work on something else. So he goes 2-on-1 on the left-hand side, tries to snap down and come behind here. He almost has a near side cradle here, and again, Black's out of bounds, and we're going to come back to the center. So 38 to go. It's 7-1. Colin needs a takedown to make this a major.
Oh, he swung and missed there. Black comes around and gets the 3-point takedown. Now it's a 7-4 match. Black in control at the top.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess my advice to Harris would be when you shoot in, you need to keep your head up, not down, and that basically he was able to circle around behind there. Now Black trying to do everything he can do on top here, and Harris having a tough time not getting tilted up here. And Harris was able to roll through there, but no back points awarded. But it's been a tough match here. Time's going to expire.
Boy.
Black doing what he could do on a cradle, almost tilted Harris. Harris did a good job, took that momentum and was able to roll through and finish it.
Atlantic up 23-12. Colin Harris winning by a 7-4 decision as you go to 120 pounds. And hey, Braxton Haas, who started the season at 126, is really settled in at 120. He's had a great second half of the year.
Yeah, looks like he's going to take on Christian Lopez, longer, lankier kid, but Haas is a quick kid. They shake hands, and Haas, some level changes there, ties up right side there, kind of a sit-through, duck under. Harris now goes opposite leg, single, able to finish that for a 3-point takedown. Going to go ahead and release him here. Drives into it. Lopez continues to push forward, and when Lopez pushes backwards, basically he's going to make his move and drive in. Got control of that elbow. He just basically bypassed that elbow around behind for another takedown here. Make it a 6-2 match. Fireman's here. Is able to finish that. Keeps the arm of Lopez. Now releases that. Works on peeling the left arm of Lopez out. He's going to try to go underneath that right arm, hook that wrist, come out front, grab the chin, flip him over towards Coach Duff, and again, that's a tight pinning combination, and when you get that arm underneath you, you have no leverage to try to do anything with that.
Braxton Haas comes out and gets a pin in 1 minute and 3 seconds. That would be his 100th victory. Wow. Congratulations to Braxton Haas, his 100th career victory for the junior, and he did it with a pin.
He's like, get the balloon out of here. I'm ready for my next match.
There we go. Fantastic. Congratulations, Braxton Haas. 100 career victories. He's got a lot more to go as well.
He's got another full season and a partial.
Haas with a pin in a minute 3, right? Atlantic goes up 29-12 through 120 pounds. 10th match coming up at 126.
Yeah, it's Hagen and Christensen. Christensen and Glenwood. Ben Christensen and Glenwood. Landon Hagen. Christensen with both wrestlers on wrist control. Kind of both attempted the same shot there, maybe opposite single. Hagen with an outside opposite sweep. Single sweep there, not able to finish it. Christensen in on a single, has an elevated, good leverage by Hagen here. Whizzer in. Christensen tries to trip and finish that, takes Hagen back to his back and has Hagen on his back with a half in. Gonna be 3 near fall, it looks like. So it's gonna be 6-0 right now. Christensen of Glenwood with that advantage over Landon Hagen here at 126 pounds. It's Atlantic up as a team, 29-12 over Glenwood here. Hagen up to his feet. Christensen does a nice job returning him back to the mat here and ties up the left arm, tries to drive forward here. Hagen trying to control that left arm. Hagen now sitting out, gonna get back exposure here. Looks like he's gonna get 2 near fall, even just kind of rolling across his back a little bit. 2 more near fall, makes it an 8-1. .80 match. Actually, 17 to go here in the first period. Maybe potentially dangerous. Christensen had that leg in. Hagen comes up, and that's potentially dangerous when the leg is in. The top rider has the leg in. So 14 seconds to go here. If you're Hagen, you want to get up, get an escape here. He's given up 5 near fall points here. An escape here by Hagen with that 14 seconds to go. So we're down to 5 here. Again, we've seen some of these younger Atlantic kids just continue to battle, and as the matches go, able to take some of it over. So it's second period. Hagen's going to go down that bottom position.
Yeah, this is a young Atlantic team with just 3 seniors and 2 of the 3 varsity wrestlers. We might see Cameron, though, at the upper weight there. We'll see. There's a nice...
Yeah, it's a kind of a neck whip there by Hagen
how about
for
Hagen?
a reversal. He just reached back, grabbed that neck, and was able to whip him back around here. Now, Hagen goes kind of snowplow and tries to get that right arm out, goes deep waist left side, tries to chop forward, grabs that wrist, and Christensen able to come back up to his feet here to make it a 9-3 match advantage over Landon Hagen here with 1:30 to go in the second period. Both wrestlers on their feet. Christensen had a couple tilts there in the end of the first period. Hagen with a escape with 14 to go in that first period. Now Hagen with an outside single leg shot attempt there. Not able to really get in deep on those shots.
Oh boy.
Hagen with a takedown. He's got a chicken wing on the left-hand side trying to grab that wrist, and he really needs to take some big steps towards the head. And Christensen knows exactly where he's at, and he's going to crawl forward on the mat, off the mat, I should say.
Landon Hagen coming back here. He was down 8-0, Cody, one time. He's outscored Christensen 6-1.
And Hagen wants to go on his feet here. So there's 56 to go here. It's a 6-10 match here. Christensen of Glenwood with that lead, and Hagen with the last takedown here feels a little bit more confident on his feet. Another outside single shot attempt there by Hagen, which he kind of had and wasn't able to finish it before. Had a slick takedown after that. Down to 35, 34, 30 seconds to go here in the second period. Hagen with a double leg shot attempt there, and not a lot of offense now from Christensen. He's kind of slowed down.
Hagen's getting in there deep,
drops
Cody.
into the single leg, but you see Christensen uses his hip pressure there and pushes back. Down to 12 to go here. Hagen needs to knee slide up, finish that single leg. And time's kind of expired here. We got 5 to go. There's some separations, and so not able to capitalize on, letting him up here. Maybe we should have went for a tilt or something like that, but we've got the third period, and he's probably going to go back down that bottom position.
10-6, Christensen with a lead over Landon Hagen, but Hagen's going to let him up, I believe.
He did in the second, wasn't able to get a takedown
he's
here,
covering,
so he's going to try to tilt him up here.
Yeah,
And
he's covered it.
Got a deep waist on that left-hand side, tries to peel him over. Now tries to deep waist on the opposite side. He really wants to get that chicken wing in. He had the chicken wing in earlier, and Christensen was able to kind of scoot out of bounds here. And deep waist on the right-hand side, trying to tilt him up, and that's kind of how Christensen got Hagen, tilted up here. And deep waist here, and he's got to just continue to push. Christensen, it looks like, is tired a little bit and has slowed down. Hagen now working on
a 2-on-1. Nope, now he's going to let him up.
Coach Cox says go ahead and release him, but he's got to score some points here. He needs 2 takedowns at least.
He's down 11-6, and official calls timeout with 1:10 to go in the third period. Not sure. Evidently, there's something. Oh, well, I think Christian got a fingernail in the eye there a little bit. Maybe he's going to get that rub. Now 1:10 to go.
Yeah, he needs a drink of water.
Yeah. And you're right. I think
some air. Yeah. Doesn't look like it's his eye that the coach was talking to him about. They're going to come back to center, and Higgins got to be aggressive here with 1:10 to go here. He's got nothing to lose. He trails by 5 here. A shot attempt there, and got to continue to go forward here and get a stall call at least. And, Christensen so far just defensive. No shot attempts here.
Hagen's got a single. There he goes.
He's got him on his back. He's going to 45 to go here.
11-9.
9-11. He's going to go ahead and release him and at least tie it up, and he's got to go for a shot here. And again, Christensen, no offense so far, and is able to just kind of back up here other than the tilts in the first period.
So Landon Hagen is down 12-9. A takedown would tie it. A lot of time left at 32 seconds.
Yeah,
he got some tilt points there, Cody. Now back on the feet. Here we go. 30 seconds to go.
And Higgins got to go, and there's got to be a stall call by the official. I mean, Christensen had some offense in the first period, and there's been nothing since.
He's about ready. Yeah, there you go. There's a stall call.
And he's got 15 seconds to score a takedown here, and he's got to go for it.
He's got to go.
And he's taking too much time here, and Christensen just doing what he needs to do defensively, just to post and keep him away. There's another stall call for a point, but it's too little, too late. Work.
Christian's going to get the win. Hagen was the aggressor, and he was down 8-0. And he came back. He lost 12-10. But Hagen, with a good effort there towards the end, just couldn't quite get her done.
Yeah, and it hurts, but it doesn't hurt, because in 2 weeks it can be a completely different story. And Hagen needs to know that he's going to have to go right away and can't be tilted up.
So Christensen wins by 12-10 decision.
And this is Hadley for Atlantic at 132. He's in on a deep double, able to finish that shot. Right away goes deep waist right side. Inside tie there. 2-on-1. Tries to chop the arm, drive forward. Now goes crab ride under the arm around the neck. Tilts that up, and he's going to try to tilt him over here and stack it up. Does a good job. Kind of catch him in the bread basket for a little bit. Is able to get, looks like 3 near fall. Makes it a 6-0. And he's going to try to go forward here. Releases that.
Mark Reed, the Glenwood representative, and Hadley up big here with a couple of takedowns.
A takedown and some near fall, So he's got continues to work on top here, and his deep waist so far has worked. Is able to tilt there. Reed is doing a good job posting those outside arms, and you can see Hadley trying to work behind here once. Now he's going to try to get the opposite arm. He's got the left arm tied up, and he's going to tilt him up again.
More back points for Carter.
Does a better job this time catching him with his leg. Kind of elevates that one leg and keeps him from rolling through for 4 near fall. Now he goes half opposite side, and if he can continue to drive forward. Now chicken wing left side has that opposite wrist. Just needs to take some big heads and big steps and step over the head. A big step over the head. Big step over the head and continue to drive. You got 20 seconds. It's time to drive forward here. A big step right across the head and elevate. And he's down to 13 seconds to go here. He's got to take advantage of that chicken wing. And we're Reed doing a good job posting that other arm, and no points awarded here. And time's going to expire, so it's 10-0 right now at the end of the first period.
Atlantic up 29-15 in the duel with 32, 38, 44, 50 and 57 to go yet. 5 matches left. And we've got a blooded timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them, and we'll be back right after this 30-second break.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
Nothing over Mark Reed of Glenwood, Cody, and Reed will cover the top side.
Yeah, into the second period here. As time expired in the first, there was some blood time. It was Glenwood's choice. They deferred. Reed wanted to defer, and Hadley went down to that bottom position. Escape here to make it an 11-0 match now at 132 pounds. Hadley with that advantage. In on a double leg here. Going to lower his level, elevate, return him to the mat here, and keep him on his back. And he needs to switch off to a half here. He switches to a half. He's going to settle in. He needs to get off the side and tee. He's able to expose both shoulders here. And can he post and finish it with 1:08 to go? He really is elevating that head, trying to expose that shoulder, and he needs to not get too high, and he gets both shoulders exposed and wins that at 132 pounds by fall.
Fall in 2 minutes and 59 seconds for Carter Hadley.
And that was, for him to win that by fall, the team gained a point because he won by fall instead of tech fall. So it was 14-0 at that time. So here comes D'Artagnan Hansen at 138 pounds for Atlantic.
Hadley with that pin gives Atlantic a 35-15 win, and their 7th win here in the match. The Rams have 3 wins, and at 138, Dart Hansen will step out of the mat for Atlantic, and for
it's going to be Connor Weir.
Yep.
So Dart right away with a kind of a front headlock is able to circle around behind there, chops that arm, drives forward here, gets a little bit high, goes cradle. We're able to reach back there and turn and face here, and D'Artagnan just needs to cross face here and get his legs separated out here. He's able to continue to circle around here and maintain control, but he's awful high here, and we're able to pick him up here and takes him backwards, and D'Artagnan doing everything he can do to headlock, takes Weir to his back, but all he's done is really maintain control here. Weir is able to get that reversal for 2 to make it a 3-2 match. Now we're working on a cross-face cradle on Hansen. D'Artagnan turns and faces for a 1-point escape, make it a 4-2 match. Both wrestlers on their feet, 1:02 to go here in the first period. D'Artagnan with an outside single shot attempt there, continues to circle that direction. Both wrestlers are going to kind of separate and come back to the center here. So D'Artagnan going 100 mile an hour here the first minute, and a lot of offense here, and looks like Weir's going to need some timeout also.
Weir with his shoulder, and we're going to take it with him. 30-second break. We're back right after these.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knutson, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
Actually, Matt now puts in a power half. Hanson works on the left side. Up 7-2.
Yeah, and he's got the left arm tied up here, and it looked like Weir's maybe his left shoulder had some issues. He's got a chicken wing in on that left-hand side, but time's going to expire here. He was trying to double chicken wing, it looked like. We're going to go to the second period, so a lot of action there in that first period. It'll be Atlantic's choice, and Hanson's going to go down that bottom position here to start.
Aiden Smith, who normally wrestles 38, will go to 44, and I think you talked about that before the match. We'll see him wrestle up a weight.
Yeah, Weir with a left leg in here, and Hanson trying to kick that out. The best thing you can do is kind of what they call a mule kick here, but you see Hanson reaching. As Weir reaches over there, Hanson does a nice job grabbing that front arm and trying to post that. So Hanson kind of trying to get up to his feet here, and Weir with a near side cradle. Hanson able to come up to his feet here, is returned back down to the mat. Deep waist by Weir, puts that right leg in. Hanson kind of scoots back. Weir takes that leg out. 7-2 right now, here to 138 pounds. Dartini and Hanson taking on Connor Weir. Switch attempt there by Hanson, and Weir able to just re-switch right back to maintain control halfway through the second period. Hanson up to his feet here. Weir tries to go opposite, drop down here. Hanson ain't gonna be able to turn around here and get a reversal here. Right away chops that left arm, and it looks like he's gonna try to get that chicken wing in. On the left-hand side, he goes half on the right-hand side. And Hanson, I can't quite see the chicken wing on the left. It's a loose one, so it's not up really behind the back. So he goes kind of across face here. Goes deep waist. Now with the right-hand side, has Weir broken down flat. 23 to go. 9-2 advantage right now. Dartani and Hanson riding on top here. Deep waist, and we'll go to the third period. It will be Weir's choice here of Glenwood as we start the third period. 6 seconds to go here. And Dartani looks like he's going to ride Weir out. Has the arm barred up on the back, and time expires.
We're going to wrestle two mats now. Aiden Smith at 144, wrestling up a weight class. We'll go to mat number 1. So we'll keep track of both these matches. Don Hanson, Dartani leading 9-2 here at 138.
You should be able to see both matches on your live stream.
Yep, there we go.
The score that you see in the corner is for the mat on the right-hand side, and that's the Dartanian Hanson match. Dartanian started on top here. Weir wanted to go down right away. Hanson gets himself in trouble here. Gets put on his back. Is able to belly out here. Weir trying to go near side cradle. Releases that now. Crossface cradle, goes back to a deep waist. Hanson has his base built back up. We're down to minute 25 to go here.
Weir's gone to work here in this third period, and Hanson trying to hang on. He's up 9-4. Cradle.
Yeah, and it's a loose cradle. He's got the leg, so Hanson's okay, and he's got that left arm of Weir posted up front there. We're down to a minute here now in the third period. Hanson up to his feet, tries to turn and face. sits back down. Coach Weber saying, let him go and go back on your feet. So Hansen continues to be ridden here on the mat here on the right, and you've got Smith, Aiden Smith on the left, and Hansen with the reversal takes Weir to his back, settles in with the reverse half here, toes on the edge of the mat here. We're able to kind of belly out there, and it's going to be a 4-point near fall to make it a 15-4, and it's going to be a major decision if he can continue to hold this lead here. Smith with a quick takedown there and a let go on the opposite mat, and they're going to go back to the center there on the mat on the left-hand side. So Smith with a 6-2 advantage right now. They're going to go back on their feet. Hansen covers here with 17 to go on the right-hand side, and a roll there by Weir to get a reversal. Makes it 15-6. So it'll still be a major for D'Artagnan Hansen. Hansen with another reversal here with a minute to go, and Smith with a quick fall there on the left-hand mat, and D'Artagnan Hansen with a 17-6 major decision here on the right-hand mat.
Atlantic up 45-15. As Cody mentioned, Smith over Owen Peveril by a fall. And Dart Hansen, how about his effort at 138 pounds, Cody?
He came out on fire and did a good job, you know, and helped the team out and was able to step into that varsity role. And it's only going to take him, it looks like, about 15 minutes to catch his breath.
Calvin Hayes, he's wrestling up a weight for Atlantic.
Yeah, we got Calvin Hayes. Calvin Hayes taking on Jackson Erickson. Time, again, didn't start, so they stopped the match here on the right-hand side. On the other side, it is
Jaden Harder
at 157.
Jaden Harder and Reese Faubel. Jaden Harder of Atlantic and Faubel from Glenwood.
Hayes in on a real nice single leg, is able to finish that. A 3-point takedown here. Harder in on a 2-on-1 on the right side. A Faubel there, steps in between the leg here. Now goes to a fireman's here on Faubel. Is able to continue to drive in here, just going to continue to scoot his hips here, get his right leg through, comes out the back door for a 3-point takedown.
In the meantime, Hayes is working for a fall here in the first period with 1:09 to go.
He stacks it up. He's got a double chicken wing. He's going to sit back
Cody.
and expose both shoulders there. So a fall for Hayes there, and Harder up 3-0 there on the mat on the left-hand side at 157 pounds.
Atlantic up 51-15. Trojans with a dominating performance against the Rams. They picked up wins at 65-90, 285, 613, 20, 32, 38, 44.
Faubel with an escape there. Harder tried a cross-face cradle. Faubel was able to stand up. Harder released it instead of doing 2-point reversal. He just gave him a one escape there. So 3-1. Harder still has that advantage here over Reese Faubel at Glenwood at 157 pounds. Faubel in on an outside single here. Was able to finish that shot on Harder with 30 to go here in the first period. Makes it a 4-3 match here now. Faubel working on the left side arm here of Harder. Down to 15 seconds to go. So far, team score, Atlantic up 51-15 in the duel here against Glenwood. The first of two will take on Clarinda here after senior night. This is the last match of this duel, so we'll go to the second period. Faubel with a 4-3 advantage here. Harder will be on top here. Faubel chooses down that position. Harder covers left-hand side here. Tries the same thing. It takes Faubel back down, almost a reverse cradle there. Takes him back down. And Falbo, athletic, and Coach Duff talked about that. And, what we see from Harder just continues to go the same speed and wears a lot of his opponents down. Deep waist now by Harder. Harder switches to a half. He's going to run the head here. Falbo kind of balls up underneath there on that left hip. Harder now with a deep waist. Turns and faces here. Falbo does for an escape. Makes it a 5-3 match here. Falbo able to get in on a shot. So both wrestlers with the takedown in the match here. Escape by Falbo in the end of the first, and an escape here in the second makes it a 5-3 match. Harder tries to work inside here. Tries to continue to drive forward here. You can hear Coach Cox hollering at Jaden Harder, 2 in a row. You just can't shoot once. It's got to be 2 in a row. So down to 45 here now in the second period. Harder with another attempt there. A good block by Falbo. Falbo with a kind of a front headlock on Harder there. Harder separates here now. You see Falbo posting with that arm, goes outside single here. Harder now wrist control on the left side of Falbo. Some separation here. Harder stays in good position. A shot attempt there by Harder, and right away that front headlock is put back on by Falbo. So we're going to go, it looks like, to the third period here. Falbo with that 5-3 advantage. Harder will be down in that bottom position here to start the third period.
Atlantic with a 51-15 lead. They'll win this one. Only one loss in the Hawkeye 10 Conference. That was a Lewis Central here before the Christmas break. They lost by 1. Harder down just by a pair here, Cody, and third period coming up.
Harder down and set. Falbo covers that right-hand side, deep waist with on the right-hand side. Harder up to his feet. Tries to turn and face. Falbo tries to grab the ankle, and a good job by Harder elevating that foot and avoiding that getting caught there. So we saw Harder kind of pushing in, outside single shot there by Falbo. Falbo able to pick it up, goes opposite direction, takes Harder down on his backside there and gets back to his base. It makes it an 8-4 match right now. Harder with the trailing here. About a minute 25 to go here in the third period. Both wrestlers on the edge of the mat. Falbo working over the top of the head here, has Harder kind of bellied out. Maybe working on a cross-face cradle. Looks like he's got the cross-face cradle actually locked up. I mean, he's hip to hip. Harder's posting with that right and trying to peel the wrist out. So Harder needs to know that cross-face is coming again, and he wasn't in the middle of the mat.
Still got a chance, down 8-4. Falbo's wrestled a good match, 1:06 to go in this third period. Falbo will cover. He'll cover the left side, I believe, and now we've got a caution on Harder.
Harder's like, I'm just ready to go.
Yeah,
he was down and set, and he moved his right hand just a little bit.
There we go.
So he's down and set, and Falbo's going to cover left-hand side here. And Falbo of Glenwood has that 8-4 lead right away.
Oh,
Harder is able to escape, and Falbo drops back down into that single. And Falbo's going to try to reach over the top there in the cradle. And again, he's locked that cradle up.
Right.
And Harder did a good job expending that left-hand leg, or straightening that left-hand leg out to avoid that lock. So Harder tries to come back up to his base here. You got 38 to go here. And Falbo, and that's one thing you'll learn as a wrestler, is when I come up on my feet, I've got to move right away, because all this guy is going to do is drop in on a single on me. So Harder's been able to get up to his feet, and Falbo right away drops into a single, goes opposite direction, and dumps him. So how am I going to avoid that the next time I wrestle if we do? I'm wrestling up right now, but if Falbo goes down, for example, you see
Falbo switched sides that time.
Whizzer
for the
there,
referee's position.
Right, whizzer there by Harder, and again, you'll see Harder come up here, and Falbo probably will drop down to that single leg again as he comes up.
Nope, he missed it that time, Cody, but he was going for it. He was going for the single and Harder, but Harder learned that time.
Yeah, and it's a 8-5 match here, so Harder could tie this up here. And he's going to run out of time here, and no stall call and there's finally a stall call, but time's expired. So good match by Harder. I mean, he's wrestling up a weight and wrestling an experienced kid. He's not going to be happy with the match results, but whether he wrestles 157 and they meet again or not, who knows? But we'll see who ends up where at Hawkeye 10 and at Districts.
51-18, Atlantic with a win over Glenwood. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll wrap this one up, and we'll get set for Atlantic and Clarinda, 95.7 FM on our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Once you're back at the shop, we talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa is a nationally recognized hospital, and we are proud of the awards and all of our recent accomplishments. But do you know what drives us to be the very best? You. We're passionate about helping our patients heal and feel their very best at any age and any stage of life. Cass Health, neighbors caring for neighbors.
The Super Bowl in Atlantic is a great place to have your next celebration. Birthday parties, family outings, date nights, or just hanging out with friends. The Super Bowl is the place to be. With Glow Bowling on Friday and Saturday nights, and ramps and bumpers for the kids, anyone can have a blast at the Super Bowl. Call Dan today at 243-4656 to reserve your lane and get ready for fun.
Welcome back to Atlantic. Tom Robbins alongside Cody Weaver, 51-18 Atlantic with a win. And they dominated that match against the Rams. Glenwood able to win at 75 and 215, 126 and 157. 4 matches for the win here for the Rams and 10 wins for Atlantic. No open weights. You love to see that, Cody. And we'll start it off. We've got senior night here tonight as well, and we'll wrap up this Atlantic Glenwood. We'll start with 165. Draven Smith that won by a 12-2 major decision over Trayton Williamson to put Atlantic up 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's I thought that, overall, the head-to-heads, we did a good job. And, they're talking to Harder right now about his next, what he needs to do. And that's what you like to see the coaches do. And Coach Duff is very particular about that. When they come off the mat, you will talk to the coach whether you want to or not. You represent the Atlantic Trojans. You represent the community. And we're going to do it whether you lose or win. We're going to discuss things. So
175. The Rams then took a 6-4 lead as Niall Lundvall pinned Calvin Cleaver of Atlantic in 58 seconds. But that was the only time the Rams did get another lead with Mason Kohler. Donovan Hedrington came out at 190 and got a 12-2 major decision over Jacob Aust to put Atlantic up 8-6.
Yeah, and Aust, I thought, had a really good base and everything, and Hedrington just kind of wrestled his match, and there wasn't a lot of action in the feet necessarily. It was more on the mat, and these guys will meet each other again in a couple weeks, so Donovan kind of knows what he needs to work on, but it was a good, solid, controlled match by Donovan.
Well, then Traven Thomas at 215, he had his work cut out for him, wrestling the outstanding Mason Kohler. Kohler gets the pin at 117. That put Glenwood back up 12-8.
Yeah, and Kohler, again, comes in rated 1. We did see him lose at the Roland Dyer, but he doesn't lose very many matches, and just a tough kid, an athletic kid, and, Traven as a freshman, so there you have the kid that's wrestled a lot, wrestled Fargo and wrestled down in Disney, and Traven, puts in some stuff in the off season too, but it's just a match of maybe somebody not as experienced versus somebody that's wrestled a lot of competition.
Then Atlantic won 9 of the next 10 matches at 285. Evan Sorensen had a great matchup with Drake Boothie, and Sorensen got the pin in 244. You mentioned during his match, and you're exactly right, Evan is really matured as a wrestler. He takes more calculated risks now than just wrestling wild.
I watched him a year or two ago. He just used sheer strength and was able to get out of cradles, or did reverse cradles. And, in this match, there was no points scored in the first period. It went to the second period, and right away, Buthe took down in that bottom position, and Sorensen was able to do a cross-face cradle and able to finish that. But that next time they meet, Buthe's going to be looking out for that. So what does he need to do on his feet to be able to get a takedown?
They'll see each other in a week at the Hawkeye 10. 106, Keaton Schrader won by 4 foot. 113, Colin Harris came out aggressive. He took an early lead. Now Brody Black did come back. Colin won it 10-7 or 7-4 decision to put Atlantic up at that point 23-12. Atlantic never trailed after that.
Yeah, and Colin, he came out and controlled that match. The one shot, he kind of got himself maybe a little bit head down a little bit, and got able to get circled around behind. And then at the end of the match, Brody kind of came on and almost wanted to tilt Colin up, and Colin was able to finish the match. And I know that Colin's reaction would be a lot different if there was more time on the clock, but it wasn't as close a match as what the score shows to me anyway.
Yeah, good point. 120, Braxton Haas continues to look really good, and congrats to Braxton. 100 victories now. He got that tonight. He had a fall in 107 against Christian Lopez, and that put the score up at 29-12 Atlantic.
And Lopez is a long, lanky kid that we saw win, against Clarinda. And again, you talk about the 100 career wins, and there's pictures of kids on the wall out in the wrestling room that have made 100 career wins, and it's an accomplishment.
We're going to have to roll through here to get our match of the meet. It was Ben Christensen beating Landon Hagen at 126 by a 12-10 decision. Then Carter Hadley at 32 won by a fall. Dart Hansen at 138 won by a 17-6 major decision. Age Smith at 44, a quick fall. Calvin Hayes a fall at 150, and it was Reese Fobble of Glenwood winning 8-5 over Jaden Harder at 157. Your thoughts on the match of the meet, Cody, brought to you by Elvis Haas State Farm Insurance?
I would have to go with, Colin Harris and Brody Black. Colin started out, he didn't have a lot of success right there in the beginning. Then he was able to get a couple slide bys, but at the end of the match, he kind of went away from the slide by because he knows that works if he has to have it work. But he needed to try to be successful with something else. Got himself in a little bit of trouble, but he still controlled the match.
So that's brought to you by Elvis Haas State Farm Insurance. Your good neighbor and your local good neighbor. We're back with the Clarinda Atlantic matchup coming up.
State Farm is there. Maybe one of the most...
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way, or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We start at 175. Cody Weaver, here we go. Atlantic and Clarinda.
Dominic Polsey, who, Coach Duff talked about, he comes out on fire, and he's wrestling Callan Cleaver, freshman here, and Polsey, a senior, a strong kid. Quick takedown here, peels the right arm of Cleaver out. Cleaver does a good job, peeling it in. But Polsey looks like he's going to get the chicken wing there on the right-hand side. Grabs the inside of the wrist on the left, and Polsey's going to circle the head. Now kind of settles back behind the hips, drives around the head, stacks up Cleaver on his shoulders and gets the fall here.
Good start for Coach Sorensen and the Cardinals with a quick pin in 43 seconds. So Polsey puts the Cardinals up 6-0 earlier at 175.
Yeah, that's going to be Donovan Hedrington coming out for Atlantic, and he's going to be taking on Griffin Phillips of Clarinda. Both wrestlers right there in the center, kind of as the match starts here. And Hedrington, you see, he goes to blast double, able to get the head on the left-hand side there, circle around behind, and goes ahead and releases him and comes back to the center. And he's got that 3-1 lead right now. Hedrington with a slide-by attempt, almost able to finish that. But it was nice to see him shoot a double. I mean, he's another kid that uses the elbow pass or the slide by quite a bit. So
Donovan won by a 12-2 major in his match against Glenwood. Quite another slide by there, Cody. Now an underhook.
Yeah, and it goes underhook, and he'll elevate that and probably go to an outside single off of that.
Atlantic winning 51-18 over Glenwood. Rams won 4 of the 14 matches. Atlantic won 10 of them. Ooh, nice double.
Yeah, and he keeps that leg. He keeps the Turk, and he's going to continue to drive by, and he's going to reach his back for that head. Releases that, but is going to get, they didn't give him any near fall there.
Hedrington with a double-A takedown for 3. Atlantic's heading 6-1. Here we go. Tilt points coming.
Yeah, kind of comes out front here now. He settles in and switches his hold, goes for reverse half. Settles in, pulls him back, exposes that left shoulder of Griffin, and gets the fall.
1 minute and a 28-second pin for Donovan Hedrington. And Atlantic now ties it up at 6-6. A fall for the Cardinals, Dominic Polsey. And now Hedrington knots up the score for Atlantic with a fall over Christian Phillips at 128. We go to 215.
It's Traven Thomas, and he's going to be taking on Mason Nally of Clarinda. Nally, a senior, and Thomas coming in a freshman here. Outside single shot there by Nally. Able to finish that shot, cover Thomas. Right away goes... works on the left arm of Thomas here, tries to chop him, releases Thomas back up to his feet for an escape. Thomas goes collar tie, working on inside control here, inside ties. Nally wants to go underhook here, goes opposite ankle, gets him taken down, goes the inside leg here. It looks like he's gonna go the okie dokie here. He reaches over the top of the head and under the arm and locks. He could go opposite direction, take Thomas over the top, but it looks like he's got almost a cross-face cradle locked up there, and he's able to break that. Now he's got the arm barred up of Thomas, goes half opposite side, and he just needs to be careful with that elbow. That elbow, Thomas does a good job getting that back underneath him.
Cody, go back to that okie dokie, and what is that move you talk about?
So you're basically hip to hip, and your leg is inside their leg. You hook it, and then you reach over the top of the head and under the arm, lock your arms, and roll opposite direction.
Okie dokie.
My kids know that. I do it to them. Used to do it to them all the time in the living room.
Well, then Nally is controlling this one as we run out of time, or 38 seconds to go here.
He's got the arm barred up and is able to, got the leg scoop too of Thomas, is able to circle towards that head. Now he tries to hook that arm, and Thomas doing a good job getting that arm in between, trying to use some leverage here, and he really needs to watch the knee of Thomas. And the official can't see that from that side. 4 near fall there. Makes it a 10-1 match now with 10 seconds to go here in the first period.
This duel is tied at 6-6, and Dominic Polsey with a 43-second fall over Callan Cleaver at 75, and then Hedrington matched the score with a fall in 128 over Christian Phillips. And now Cardinals ready to take the lead back up 10-1 in this match with Nally over Traven Thomas.
And Thomas goes down here to start the second period. Just a lot of hip pressure there by Nally, and continues to drive forward here. You can see him dragging the left arm of Thomas out here, and he's going to try to keep that and go half on the right-hand side. And Thomas doing a good job kind of winging down, I guess, and now he's going to try to go forward and stack him up here on his shoulders, and it's you get in that position, it's a tight position to be in and hard on the neck.
So pin for Mason Nally here in the second period. 2 minutes and 22-second pin for Nally. And hey, the Cardinals back up 12-6 here in this duel.
Now it's tied with a forfeit at 285.
Oh, now 285 got a forfeit there, just like that.
And 106 and 113, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, the contested races, it was Clarinda taking the 12-6 lead, and now they're open at, what do you say, Cody? We're 285. Sorensen gets the win by forfeit.
106.
Schrader didn't even get to wrestle tonight.
113. Forfeit. Colin Harris with a forfeit there. Braxton Haas comes out here at 120. And it's going to be Hash, it looks like, from Whip. We have not seen Whip tonight.
That's
Hash will be the kid coming out, weighed in. He's listed at 26, but he wrestled 20 before. And they might move Hash up, and they are going to go ahead and forfeit here at 120.
So
not sure
Haas,
what they're doing here. They have too many kids, or they're going to go.
So Haas wins.
They're going to wrestle two mats, it looks like.
Okay.
I'll open my lens up. Landon Hagen's going to go over to the mat on the left-hand side of your stream.
So Haas, it's 120 now. Hayden Hash from Clarinda.
West mat, forfeiture 126. The winner is Atlantic's Landon Hagen.
Yeah, it's Hagen.
Won by forfeit at 26.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what they're...
No, there's going to be a match there. There'll be a match at 26.
Haas with a kind of a underhook there, switches off to a front headlock here, is going to try to snap down, circle opposite direction, ankle, goes near side cradle, goes reverse half here, settles in, keeps the arm on Hash, settles in now on almost a headlock attempt there, and has Hash tight on the bottom here. Elevates the head, has both shoulders exposed, and gets the fall here. So at 126, Landon Hagen did win by forfeit, and we're going to go to 32. It's going to be Carter Hadley on the mat on the left-hand side of your screen.
So Haas wins by fall. Hagen wins by forfeit. For Atlantic at 26, it's 36-12.
Yeah, I think they're trying to decide what...
And 32 is coming up. So we're looking down at 132.
Yeah, on track's having a tough time right now. They're still at the 26 match, which it was Hagen with a...
I don't blame them. It's going quick here. So Haas over Hayden Hash in 45 seconds with that pin for Atlantic. And now we're getting set for 32.
38. It was D'Artagnan Hansen winning by forfeit. 38. It's going to be Aiden Smith coming up.
So we'll catch this score in a minute. We do have a match.
Yeah, Hadley with a takedown, takedown and some near fall there. Now he's got a chicken wing on the left-hand side. He's going to try to pull that chicken wing back, and you see the opponent there from Clarinda doing a nice job getting that arm back forward and out of that chicken wing situation.
Smith wins by a forfeit at 44. As this is going fast now here.
And Hadley has a chicken wing on the right-hand side. And again, those guys need to take big steps over the head. They're allowing their opponent to kind of slide. Belly out there and just take a big step with that right leg. Step it over the head, block the head. He switches now and releases, goes inside the wrist there. Yeah, 32, they don't have anybody listed.
No,
so
that should have been Dart Hansen. Smith wins by forfeit at 38. Now we go to 44 with Calvin Hayes and Emmett Comer.
Hayes in on a real nice single here. Switches to a inside control, and he's going to go ahead and release Comer back up. Go back on his feet here with a fireman's. Takes Comer to his back. No escape awarded there, but he's tightens it up here, goes reverse half, and gets a fall on Comer here at 150 pounds.
In 26 seconds, a quick fall for Calvin Hayes for the Trojans. Aiden Smith with the forfeit win for Atlantic at 38. Dart Hansen did go on the mat at 32.
Yeah, he did. They don't have that listed yet.
No, but we witnessed it. We can tell you.
I'm not sure if they, on the team points, I don't know if they took that into account or not.
Yeah, we may have to wait till it's complete.
150, it's Jaden Harder coming out here for Atlantic, and it looks like it's Barrett Heggie, a sophomore from Clarinda.
Scoreboard 48-12 Atlantic with a lead over Clarinda. They've sealed this deal. They will sweep tonight. They beat Glenwood earlier, 51-18, and Harder comes out with a double.
Yeah, he went in on a single, switched it to a double, works his way up. Good hit, shoulder pressure there. Goes to a half, controls that left arm and trying to stack him up here. Heggie tries to roll through, and Harder just too much leverage there. Gets on his tippy toes there, goes reverse half, tries to keep that arm. Heggie doing a good job. Harder now settling in a little bit more, and Heggie able to roll back to his belly. So nice job by Heggie. Now he keeps that right arm, and Harder drives towards the head here and stacks him back up in almost the same pinning combination, only he's out in front here. Now he circles towards the head. Heggie doing a good job, and Carter Hadley has his opponent on his back on the mat on the left-hand side, and he's got a 11-0 lead there with 30 seconds to go in that second period, and Carter Hadley wins by fall.
At 132, I believe they had it up there.
Yeah, I think.
We'll get that official later on. Meanwhile, Harder trying to get a pin here, but Heggie really fighting it off. I thought he had it earlier, really did.
Right, so it's 7-0. I don't know if it was the same pinning combination, but he got awarded 4 near fall, and they had him on his back twice. So 7-0 right now. Harder with that advantage here.
57-65 yet to go.
You see Draven Smith coming up here at, we're 57's on the mat.
Right now we just got one to go.
Draven Smith coming out here at 165 on your mat on the left-hand side.
And that'll be the final mat here of the evening.
Harder's choice here to start the second period, and he goes down in the bottom position. Harder's down and set.
Hadley and Alex Keeler's Hadley winning that at 32.
Harder with a reversal here. Now he goes cross-face cradle here, goes hip to hip. Tries to sit back or push in a little bit and sit back. And Heggie doing a good job defensively, doing everything he could do. Harder really settles in now with knee in the side there and the forehead right in the temple like they teach you to do it. They're kind of a textbook.
72-12 Atlantic with the win over the Clarinda Cardinals here, and the Trojans sweep. They beat Glenwood 51-18. They come back and beat Clarinda by the score of 72-12. We'll have our post-match coverage coming up. We'll talk to Atlantic head coach Tim Duff. That's brought to you by Elvis Haas State Farm Insurance. In your corner with Coach Duff coming up here a little later on. We'll recap the 2 matches here with Atlantic winning over Glenwood and Clarinda. We're back in this after this 2-minute timeout.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic Hy-Vee, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor, and on behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading our surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP Superior Fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep-you-going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs Chicken and Pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep-you-going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us.
Welcome back to Atlantic as the In Your Corner show brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance with Atlantic head coach Tim Duff. Atlantic 51-18 over Glenwood, and they dominate in the second match 72-12 over Clarinda, coach. And pretty good night, huh?
Hey, first, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Cody, for live streaming. I know Coach McCann couldn't be here, so he was watching
Coach.
the live stream, and he was very appreciative of that. So I know people really enjoy that and enjoy your guys' call. So had a great turnout for fans. Villa Dance put on a great show there, and we were able to honor five seniors there. Between we had a manager and a cheerleader and 3 wrestlers. So those five seniors are awesome kids, awesome families. We want to see them have a lot of success. And for us, good night. I think, you look at those Glenwood matches, a couple in there we dropped that, we've got to do a little better job of scoring early. I think we got in trouble, but for the most part, we came out and we were aggressive. Probably the showcase or the highlight match of the night, the heavyweight match. We had Drake Boothie, a sophomore for Glenwood. I think he only had a loss or 2 on the season, ranked 5th, and Evan Sorensen ranked 3rd there in IA wrestling rankings. And so, hard-fought first period, we were able to get on top. Evan locked up a cradle there. So, in that match, we're going to need to score on our feet. That's a big district match in the future. So, in the Clarinda matches, they've got a couple studs up there. They're bigger weight pulls. He's real good. Nally's real good. And then we were able to pick up some bonus points in some other matches. But all in all, we were pleased with our performance. Turn around tomorrow, head down to Corning, John J. Harris. Kids get 1 pound, so they get an additional pound allowance. So hopefully we can get down there, get warmed up, make weight, come out and wrestle 2 hard matches tomorrow night is kind of the plan and the goal.
Coach, you talk about that. Harris, again, a lot of tough competition. Obviously, your Trojans got to be one of the favorites as well for the team title. Who else?
Yeah, I think first you got to start with Winterset. I think everybody's chasing Winterset. They've got a really good lineup. Coach Jensen does a great job there. They're probably the front runner. You've got a really good Riverside squad. Coach Conover's doing a great job down there. They're solid up and down their lineup. They're going to put 14 kids that'll go out there and battle. And so, they're probably the top 2 teams. And then after that, I think it's up in there who can fight and, stay in there for us. We just want to come out, wrestle our best, wrestle aggressive. If we can score some bonus points, maybe we can hang around and make a team, make a battle for the team title, see if we can get in there in those top 3 or 4 spots and see what we can do. So, we keep moving forward. We keep improving some things that we need to continue to work on. But all in all, we were pleased tonight, and hopefully come back, see how we wrestle into Friday, Saturday. So it's a good prep for the state tournament, where you have to weigh in multiple days. So weighing in 3 days in a row. Mentally, physically, and wrestling tough matches 3 days in a row. So hopefully we'll see how our guys handle that, and hopefully we come out with the right mindset and stay aggressive and work to score points.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for taking the time here. We appreciate you, and congrats on the 2 wins. Best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, and shout out Braxton Haas, junior
yes.
for us, picked up his 100th career win. Outstanding for him, and a lot of time and effort goes into that. So we're real proud of him, and like we talk about more and bigger things still to come. But it's always fun to see kids reach those milestones.
Very good, Coach. Thank you very much. We will have coverage of the John J. Harris Wrestling Tournament, starting with our first report tomorrow about 4:40, and we'll have a live video streamed and also on 95.7 FM tomorrow from the Activity Center in Corning. We'll see if we can maybe get a word with Braxton Haas. He's really been coming on at that 120-pound weight class. Hey, our Coaches Show in the Corner show with Coach Duff, brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance, your local good neighbor. Welcome back to our post-game or In Your Corner show, brought to you by Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance, your local good neighbor. And we've got the guy here that won his 100th career match, just a junior, with a lot of season left to go and a whole senior year, Braxton, and that's quite a milestone. Talk about your match, first of all, and you did it with style. You got a pin, huh?
Oh, yeah. I was dedicated for this match. I knew my kid wasn't one of the best kids, so I did one of our drills in the room is take him down, let him up, take him down, let him up, take him down, and to a pin, and that's what I did. And just the congratulations after the win. I knew it was my 100th win, so I was just really pumped and excited for that. So.
Yeah, fantastic. You went from 26 down to 20, and you seem to be really comfortable that weight.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with me, but I guess cutting weight, I perform better. So I don't really know. I cut down to 20, and I've just been determined there and just powering through.
100 wins, what does it take to get to that milestone? It's not easy.
I say this word a lot, but dedication. You gotta be dedicated to take your goals, and just working through practice, even if you don't want to be there, it just makes you better and works you to achieve your goals.
Your goal, of course, get back to the state tournament. You've been there, done that. How are you going to get it done?
Another word again, dedication.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be dedicated to win my bracket, score my points, can't be scared, can't play too defensive. I just got to be offensive, score my points, and hopefully win.
Well, I've got you here, Braxton. Talk about the John Jay.
Yeah, John Jay, I had that one big match against Rudy, and I was hopefully, I don't know, I was in my head sometimes during that match, but after I came up on top, I was like, I'm winning this. He's not going to score on me one more time, and we got in the third period. It was short time. I took a shot, and I would have scored if we would have had more time, and just that match set me off to what I'm doing now. Even though I lost some matches after that, they were good kids, and just all my matches I've lost this year have been good kids.
Yeah.
And I'm ready. I'm ready.
You're fun to watch, Braxton, and a lot of good stuff yet to come. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. Braxton Haas with his 100th career victory here this evening. Maybe we can get a hold of Aiden Smith down there, too, and I know he's reached some milestones as well here this season, another senior for Atlantic, and he's really had a tremendous career here for the Trojans. You get a 100-win milestone for the junior Braxton Haas, and then Aiden Smith. Boy, look what he's done. He got his 100th career pin this season as well, and really has had another terrific career. So we'll keep it right here, and we're going to talk to Mr. Aiden Smith, one of the 3 seniors honored tonight. But we talked about Braxton with his 100th career win, but we got to talk to you about your 100th career pin. Some of the things that you've accomplished, Aiden, and let's go way back, and you're chasing that pin record, huh?
Yeah, there was a couple tournaments where I didn't get my pins. There were a couple duels where maybe I should have, but mentally it got to me a little bit, but I knew I just got to keep pushing and keep going, so I kept putting in the work in the wrestling room. I came out and ended up getting my 100 career pin. I think I was at Rolling Story.
Yeah, before Christmas, right?
Yep.
Right around that time. So how many do we have right now?
I don't even know. I think I'm 11 away from the record.
Okay.
So
definitely attainable.
Yeah.
Talk about your season so far. It's been terrific.
It's been amazing working with this group of guys. We're all hardworking. We all love to push each other. So, just being in a room with them and seeing the success that we've had from the beginning of the season to now, we just been keep pushing each other. We've all been improving, and so it's amazing, especially with wrestling a partner like Braxton. Been with him for I think 3 years now, and so it's nice we're able to push each other to the next level, and we're seeing results.
Well, results, and of course, Aiden Smith, what a resume, 3-time Hawkeye 10 Conference champion. You have a chance to join a very elite club here in a little over a week. You've medaled 3 times at state wrestling tournament, a runner-up as a sophomore. We know what your goal is this year.
I'm going for that state championship, so I just got to keep putting in work. I've got to stay on my teammates, too, because we have a pretty good chance going to state duels,
yes.
So we got to stay on them. We got to keep working hard, and I guess just bring it out and show them what we got.
Well, great to talk to you, Aiden. Hey, best of luck this weekend and the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You bet. Aiden Smith, what a career, and a lot more to come. He's headed for Northwestern College to wrestle next year. And, well, he's just been a joy as well. All these guys really having a great season, Cody.
Yeah, and they obviously talk about the state duels, and it's an accomplishment as a team because it takes everybody. Every weight needs to be fairly solid to compete. I think when you look at the rankings, last time I looked, I think Atlantic was ranked 16th, so they're right there and right there where they need to be. They need to finish the season strong, and I think we still have St. Albert, Shenandoah left to wrestle, at least maybe Southwest Iowa, one more duel. So we just need to continue to put duels together, and there's a lot of pins. We look at a lot of these were either pins or get pins, and that was a lot of the matches. So they took advantage of a lot of bonus points, and Harder probably had the most, I guess, the hardest fought battle there in this last one, and he didn't get the results he wanted against Glenwood. And he might not get a chance to wrestle him again, if he doesn't wrestle up or, kids don't go down. So, both of those wrestlers you just talked to, it's important to every match, every practice, do everything you can do each time because there might not be another time.
Well, Cody, we've got to get our match of the meet for Clarinda, brought to you by Elvis Haas, State Farm Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor, and the papa of Braxton Haas, who actually got his 100th career win. Cody will have the match of the meet coming up right after this.
There, maybe one of the most known slogans in America. What does it mean to me as your local State Farm agent, Elvis Haas? It means being able to speak to your agent. It's also being able to understand what you're paying your hard-earned money for. My team and I aren't new to customer service, and we're here to help you with your auto, home, life, farm, business, health, as well as financial services. See Elvis Haas State Farm on Facebook or at our location, 1/2 block west of the courthouse, 712-243-4824.
We want to thank Elvis Haas, State Farm Insurance, for bringing us our coaches show earlier in the evening, and the In Your Corner show with head coach Tim Duff and Aiden Smith and Braxton Haas on the postgame. Match of the meet here for the Clarinda matchup, brought to you by State Farm. Elvis Haas, your local good neighbor. What do you think, Cody?
Well, I'm going to switch it up from what I was talking about. I think, I'm going to have to go with Traven Thomas. Just the last couple weeks, he lost the match, by fall. But you see him doing things better than what he did before, and he's competing better than what he has. And the duel against Logan, for example, at 215, he ended up pinning the kid, and so he's really gained a lot personally, and it's fun to watch kids like that just see improvements in themselves and get confidence, and you see it through the rest of the year that they just wrestle better. Right. Braxton talked about going down to 120. Is he any better wrestler? No. But does he think he is? Yes. So he is, right? It's all mental. It's wrestling is just as mental as anything else. So you beat yourself up a lot.
Atlantic 66-12. I've got 77-12 here, but we'll get that squared away in that Clarinda matchup. It was Dominic Polsley of Clarinda pinning Callan Cleaver in 40 seconds at 175. That put the Cardinals up early, but then Donovan Hendrick can answer for Atlantic at 190 with a fall over Griffin Phillips in 129. It was 6-6 down. Mason Nally for Clarinda came back and beat Traven Thomas at 215 by a fall in 221 to give the Cardinals a 12-6 lead. Then 285, Evan Sorensen, who beat Boothie of Glenwood in that very good matchup earlier. Sorensen won by 4 foot at 285. Keaton Schrader, 4 foot at 106. Colin Harris, a 4 foot at 113. And then Braxton Haas defeated Hayden Hash of Clarinda by falling 45 seconds. At 126, Logan Hagan of Landon Hagan, of Atlantic wins that one by 4 foot. D'Artagnan Hansen at 32 won by 4 foot. Aiden Smith at 38 won by 4 foot. Then we had some contested matches after that. Cody started at 144.
Yeah, it was Calvin Hayes. He won over Emmett Comer by falling 25 seconds. And I don't know if you said 32. It's kind of been updated now. D'Artagnan Hansen did end up getting a 4 foot there at 132 pounds. Jaden Harder beat Barrett Hagee by falling 225. Draven Smith won by 4 foot there at 165. And then there were some extra matches, but I show 66-12.
That's what I have
as
now.
a score,
Yeah,
so,
you bet.
Yeah.
And that'll be your final here this evening. Cody, big thanks to you. Atlantic beat Glenwood at 51-18. And then also the win here over the Clarinda Cardinals by the score of 66-12 to end the matchup tonight. Well, broadcasts coming up tomorrow right here on 95.7 FM. We'll have reports beginning at around 4:50, I believe. Cody and Chris Varney will be there to cover the John J. Harris Wrestling Tournament. Always a great tournament, and that'll be Friday. And again on Saturday, Cody will have the play-by-play of the finals mid-afternoon on Saturday. I believe, stay tuned to both. In fact, I think it's going to be simulcast on 95.7 FM and on KSOM on Saturday afternoon, and of course live video stream WesternIowaToday.com. Hi, that crow's nest up there in the activity center in Corning. Cody, thanks a bunch. Great job. Appreciate what you do for us, and have fun in Corning here the next couple days.
You're up there in the hot box. You're about 2 feet from the ceiling, and it's not so bad. It's not like the old armory used to be where they'd cram. It was a fire hazard waiting to happen in that old building, but now where they've got the activity center, it's really nice. They have 2 mats. There's plenty of space around it.
But I think they've changed. I think there's air conditioning. I think they've done a renovation there.
It's air conditioned outside anyway. I think they have some type of ventilation because they definitely can cool it off more than what it was. So.
It's a packed house, wall-to-wall people at the Activity Center. For Cody Weaver, I'm Tom Robinson. Hey, Michael Sheriff back in the studios monitoring the situation. We appreciate you, Michael, each and every night out. That'll do it for our broadcast here. Thanks for joining us here from Atlantic. Again, it was Glenwood beating Clarinda the first duel, and Atlantic swept the Rams and the Cardinals in duel.